Step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, well, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Good morning and welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. We're so happy you're here. We're so happy you're here. Let's have an amazing show, shall we?
It's going to be a beautiful mix of feel good, inspiration. You know how we do it on
Absolutely.
Expresso.
Well, we're kicking it off this morning because our movie corp, JC,
Yes.
And of course, he's bringing us all of the latest movies opening up this weekend.
Oh, and then of course we'll take a look at what's trending. In fact, so much trending this morning.
Yeah.
You being a dad, you might need some help with the kid one day. Well, some hilarious
One day.
parent hacks. Nice, so easy. And then of course also trending is a human chain that formed to save the lives of 9 people. That was in Florida. So we'll bring you all of that in our What's Trending report.
Yeah, triumph of the human spirit. Then that human spirit is going to fly high. He is an unbelievable gent, and hands down, guitar down, mic down, one of the most talented guitarists and singers in the country. Certainly one of our favorite sons here on the show. Loki Rothman is back. And he's turning the tables on some traditional favorites as well. So sit tight for an incredible performance this morning.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah, let's get you set for the day ahead. Let's see what's in store on the temperature front throughout the day. Human chain, human chain.
Thank you, team, and a very warm welcome from my side as well. Let's get into your temperatures as we do every weekday morning. Now, warmer temperatures are expected for the northwestern parts of the country, while over in the Eastern Cape, a couple of showers can be expected for today. Cradock, Sutherland and Worcester all kickstart this Thursday with temperatures in the negative, so please keep warm. Let's run you through quickly. Polokwane begin op 6 grade, dit styg na matige 25. Mbombela 12 en warm later vandag 32 grade. Pretoria 8:23, Johannesburg 7:22, Mahikeng 9:26, Klerksdorp op 10 grade minimum en 'n maksimum van 26, Kimberley 5:21, Bloemfontein ronde 0, dit styg na warmer 21 later. Richards Bay on 14 this morning with a maximum of 22, Pietermaritzburg 9 this morning and a 20 maximum, Durban 16, 22, Mthatha 4 this morning and staying cool with a maximum of 15, East London 8, 17, Cradock on -2 and a 16 maximum, Port Elizabeth 8, 18, George 5, 13, Sutherland very cold this morning, -4, staying cold with a maximum of only 11 degrees. Cape Town 7, 16, Worcester -1 and a maximum of 15. Springbok 4, 19 and Uppington kicking off on 8 degrees this morning with a maximum of 22. That's a wrap of your weather for the 6:30 bulletin. We'll keep you updated with those temperatures throughout the course of your Thursday morning. I'm back just after 7 with another look.
Well, let's get your Thursday morning started as there are already a couple of accidents on the road. We start off in Gauteng, central Johannesburg. Now, there's been an accident involving a truck that's on the M2 westbound before the Cleveland exit. Traffic is backed up from the N3 highway at the Geldenhuys interchange. And then in Cape Town at University's Estate on the M3 Duval Drive outbound, there's been an accident near Hospital Bend. Please keep a lookout for that. That's where we leave your traffic for now. We'll bring you another update in half an hour's time.
well, time for us to head out to social media this morning. This cute picture, Zoe and Ewan, and what they're actually asking you is, it is Throwback Thursday. We want to know from you, let's see, who is your oldest friend and can you maybe share your favorite memory of them? Let's see, Nosipo kicking it off. My oldest friend is Nobusi Mazwai. We met in 2002 and worked together in Bisho. My favorite memory of her is morning walks we took to the bus singing, "Great is thy faithfulness." Hallelujah, I love that. Undersea says, morning team, my oldest friend is James. We grew up together. God says, my oldest friend, we all grew up together and we are from small and she has a very good personality and she knows her thing. Hello. And then Babalwa says, hi Expresso team, please include Queenstown in your weather list. Okay, we will talk to the powers that be and see if we can make that happen. But let us know who is your oldest friend and what your favorite memory of them is.
Oh,
G-Dog, you're my oldest friend, man.
You're my oldest friend in Cape Town, dude. I have to say, you're my oldest mate. Yeah,
No,
Greg.
You're just my oldest friend.
I'm going to say how's it to Greg, my oldest mate, man, and his little boy, Michael. I can't believe that all my oldest mates have children now. We all have kids. It's crazy, man.
Look at that.
Beautiful stuff. We're going to take a very quick ad break and keep those messages coming on Facebook. When we return, more from the movie front.
Yeah, man. And then on the What's Trending front, we take a look at some rather interesting and funny parenting hacks to help you out, Graham. Maybe you and I should stand.
Bring them.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso. That tune means it's time for us to find out what our local stars have been up to. Trying to judge from your face. Good, bad, serious?
Yeah, it is a little sad, of course.
Okay.
We talked about the passing of Ray Phiri yesterday, and following the news of jazz musician Ray Phiri's passing yesterday, local celebrities took to social media to pay tribute to the musical icon. Media personality Alex J tweeted that the Stimela hitmaker was a force to be reckoned with, while Boiti shared a moving quote accompanied by a photo of Ray as well. Our favorite has to go to Tapela Mokoena, though, who not only shared a post of the late musician, but also reminisced about how he listened to the icon's songs growing up. And we can also confirm that Ray will receive special provincial funeral by the Mpumalanga provincial government later this week. May he rest in peace. It was,
Yeah, man.
I still get so sad when I think about it.
It's a very, very sad
So
passing.
unexpected.
Definitely, our condolences will go out to everyone. Yeah.
Definitely. Well, on to Tando Tabeto now. While we're trying to avoid the winter chill, some people have escaped and are completely living their best life in Ibiza. Is
Nice.
it Ibiza? Ibiza. I don't know.
Potato.
Potato. We're not
Yeah.
there. So anyways, taking to Instagram, the actress shared several photos of herself lounging by the pool under the sun. She's also shared images of her exploring the city before taking in the sun and, of course, the breathtaking sunset. And talking about breathtaking, can we just have a moment for how awesome she looks? She is like killing it.
This looks like a
Legs for
magazine
days.
spread. This looks like something that needs to come out of like an editorial piece.
Is she going to start her own fashion line? Because I would buy this. I totally would buy this.
That's
Lekker,
beautiful.
man.
Enjoy your
Go
holiday.
Tando,
We are
live
jealous.
it, girl. Live your best life.
So anyways, there we have it. Wrap of your local entertainment news. We'll get into your international entertainment news a little bit later on this morning.
Well, talking about living your best life, it's the best of the good life tonight at 8:30. And tonight, Chris Jefter meets up with an inspirational woman. She's a businesswoman and, of course, actress. I'm talking about Pendile Gwala, one of the stars of Muvango. All that and more on Top Billing tonight at 8:30.
Join us this Thursday on Top Billing as SA designer Arwen Swan turns undergarments into stunning outerwear.
Corsetry is still making waves in the fashion industry. See how celebrities are wearing it and how you can wear it this Thursday on Top Billing on SABC3.
At a 17th century wine farm on the cutting edge of food and design, PR dynamo Jenna MacArthur weds IT hotshot David van Rensburg.
It took him quite a while to kind of cotton on to the fact that I really liked him.
And then I might have taken a bit of time, but after a few months, the penny dropped.
A couple of years, actually.
We invite you to explore a magnificent minimalistic home that doesn't say, look at me, but rather look around you.
If there ever was an area that could be called the Garden of Eden, this would be it. We're here at the home of Jenny and Dion van der Vat for a peek inside their creation, nestled in the trees.
Model Refilwe Mudisele reunites with designer Sheldon Kopman for a very special shoot to celebrate the beauty of just being you.
You guys clearly get along. Is this the kind of chemistry you had 18 years ago?
Do you feel we're 13 years old?
Yeah.
When we met for the first time, and it was fantastic. It was a wonderful meeting of good minds, and her energy was so great, so it helped us to really maximize our shoot to its fullest potential.
Inspired by the cartoon characters he watched as a child and encouraged by the women in his life, artist Atang Tsikare uses his vivid imagination for his fantastical creations.
When I met him in 2002, he was already customizing his own sneakers. The first gift he got me was a t-shirt that he painted and torn apart, but it really looked cool.
It's fun and funky like actress and entrepreneur Pendile Gwala.
When you have the South African storm in the heart of Joburg, choreographing on Pendile, you know it's about to go down. Yeah! Okay, wait, we can't give it all away. Catch us this Thursday on Top Billing 8:30.
Well, definitely not to be missed, eh? Lots of fun, high energy there from Chris as well. Right now, though, we are still talking about saving money. And this National Savings Month, we are determined to get financially fit and to save as much as we can. And one way to save is by avoiding unnecessary high banking fees, which, let's be honest, it catches us all off guard every single month, okay? And this is why we are loving Nedbank's pay-as-you-use account, because it's a flat monthly fee of only R5.
That's incredible. Now, you might ask, how much can I do with an account for only R5? Well, it's a fully fledged transactional account that comes packed with everything you need, including unlimited card swipes and free cell phone and internet banking, meaning you can bank whenever and wherever. Long gone are the days of you needing to leave the house to buy electricity or airtime or even to send money.
Yeah, man, love it. So if you are interested in saving with Nedbank Pay-As-You-Use account and would like to find out more, you can just SMS NEDPAYU to 30755 and you'll receive everything you need to know. SMSs are free and the terms and conditions can be found on the website nedbank.co.za.
I'm a dreamer, a doer. I know the hustle. I just need my money to hustle for me.
Let your money hustle for you. Get a bank account for R5 per month and bank on the Nedbank app without using any data. See money differently. Nedbank.
Yeah, that's right. Well, before we cross to the man who says he looks like Chris Jafter, let's find out what's happening at the box office. You said so.
This is the South African top 5 box office hits over the last weekend. Finally, Cars 3 gets a female hero, I think. It's hard to tell, but I know it's number 5. Baywatch was a washout in the US, but keeps treading water overseas, even bobbing back to 4th here. Anyone else got the worst hangover from the last night? Of course, I mean Transformers 5, in 3rd. At number 2, Gru and his minions might also be losing their yellowy goggle-eyed shine in their 3rd Despicable Me. But 3rd reboot lucky Spider-Man Homecoming is 1st, and exactly the way superhero movies were meant to be.
Yes, Spider-Man, I can't wait to watch it.
Yes.
Well, let's catch up with JP Sebastian, a.k.a. Chris Jafter, a.k.a. JP Sebastian. How are you, sir?
Why is this happening to me?
You said you guys kind of look the same.
I said I'm being lined up for replacement by a younger, more beautiful model.
And then you said we kind of look the same. Anyways, let's finally catch up with what's happening this weekend. The Odyssey. Tell us more, JP.
It's strange that there were, I can't remember a biopic in recent memory before of this gentleman, but maybe you know the name Jacques Cousteau?
Yes.
I think a lot of people grew up with him as a childhood hero, like, you know, we had Carl Sagan in the same way, or we had, for me it was Arthur C. Clarke, but he was an explorer of the ocean, and he was also a conservationist later in his life especially. This is following 30 years during his career as a TV documentarian, as well as there's a shot that you're seeing right there. Yeah. The controversy in this guy's career, in fact, that he was not always a good person to animals, and he had a change of heart thanks to his son, who you find out later in the movie that he lost as well. But if an iceberg 4 times the size of Cape Town isn't enough to wake you up, maybe a movie about a conservationist is. It looks beautiful, though. Some of it shot in Cape Point, by the way.
Okay, wonderful. Can't wait to see that. How about the movie Wakefield?
Sounds super interesting. Bryan Cranston, who obviously everyone still knows and is stuck as like Walter White. Maybe that character was too big for him. No, not too big for him. He made it. Yeah. But Wakefield is the story of a man who has a psychological breakdown. Okay. It's the drudgery of the suburbs. It's modernity, like distilled. And he escapes to an attic above his garage. His family thinks he's gone missing, but he just stays in this attic, spying on basically on his own life, watching his family from afar. And what sounds really interesting about it, I haven't actually seen it yet, but I am keen, so, you know, forgive me if it's actually total nonsense. But he narrates the movie to you as the audience, but at the same time, he's speaking to himself a lot of the time, because he's partly, you know, unfortunately losing his marbles. But I'm sure it's a story a lot about forgiving yourself, especially during like mental stress.
Very cool. 2 very good movies, I think, so far. And now I'm happy to see that Tom Hanks is in another movie, The Circle.
If only they could give him a good movie.
Sure.
No, The Circle. Tom Hanks. We love Tom Hanks. Yes, we love Emma Watson. I heard a banana over there. Can the minions stop it, please? So Emma Watson's in it too. John Boyega, who we know from The Force Awakens, who is not given in nearly enough time in this movie. He's actually such an intriguing character. The story is about the largest social media company in the world that is going a step further to try and encourage its members to vote on its platform as well, which sounds a bit totalitarian. There's something very spooky going on in the story. Cameras being placed in every user's, imagine when you're wearing like Facebook Live at all times in your body. This is what Emma Watson's character volunteers to do. Wow. So she's like inculcated into the culture and radicalized into this happy-go-lucky, actually the company's good thing, and John Boyega keeps trying to warn her, no. But the story's an utter mess. It's a book of 500 pages, and in fact the ending is totally different from the book. So if you enjoyed the book from 2013 by Dave Eggers, you're probably not going to enjoy this movie.
Sure.
Man.
Okay, so we should just wait for it to come to TV then.
I don't know, just tweet about it or
whatever. Just tweet about it. Well, in a little bit, we're going to be talking about War of the Planet of the Apes. Caesar is back. Can't wait to talk more about that. And JP Sebastian has all the details.
The best entertainment at New Metro Cinemas. It's your scene.
Definitely looking forward to hearing Sebastian's take on
JC,
on War of the Planet.
call him what you want, man.
Whatever, man. Listen, still ahead on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Rather interesting What's Trending story, how a group of Good Samaritans formed a human chain to save the lives of 9 people from a rip current in Florida. Absolutely cool, man.
And then I can see Loki's interested in that story, man. Yeah. So hopefully it means he'll stick around all morning with us. Loki Rothman back in your Feel Good studio this morning, turning an old classic on its head. We cannot wait for that performance. We'll see you in a second.
like me, you don't have time to be cleaning all day. Try Chuck's Super Wipes to help you clean in a flash. The double action holes easily pick up dirt and food particles, and the grime dispersing weave makes it easier to wash the cloth hygienically, and they're machine washable too. Chuck's Super Wipes come in different colors and sizes, so you can color code your cleaning jobs to avoid cross-contamination. Purple for the sink, blue for the loo, and green to clean all surfaces. Chuck's cleans spills like they never happened.
Check, check, 1 2 1 2 1 2. As die skemer kom, alles is blou. Alles oor jou. Ja, nee, ek's happy, dankie. Cool.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
At Samsung, we develop technology so you can live life. Samsung, a way of life.
Oh, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us on this Thursday morning. It's been a very feel-good start to your day thus far. Let's make it even better. Make me laugh, guys. Make me laugh, make me cry.
Okay. Well, this is a rather feel-good story for the first one. We're kicking off with around 80 beachgoers. They actually saved 9 people from drowning after the swimmers got caught in kind of a rip current, you know. And yeah, they formed this human chain just stretching out into the ocean. And supporting, and all of them actually made it out safe, man. Wow. Including the 9 swimmers and all the human chainers.
You don't know the person on the end of the human chain who just gets left out there.
Dude, yeah, but this is amazing. I mean, it made news headlines all around the world. So,
well, understandably so. I mean, with most of the news that's going around the world at the moment, you're kind of losing a bit of heart, and this is awesome. This is what humans are capable of.
And it's so symbolic, you know, standing together, you're stronger. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, man, thank you.
Our next story is also a little bit of a but funny, because a family family recently went to the Walt Disney resort, and the little girl, she just couldn't handle the Frozen ride. Now she completely, like the video at the end, it just shows, well, at least the picture, she just shows her face. She's just like, so, like, this is happening.
Oh,
Shame, I think
word.
she's actually just traumatized. Look at that face.
Shame. The dad doesn't look much better.
Well, Dad posted the photo, so he was, I think, very chuffed.
Okay, well, then talking about dads, you guys are both dads. Do you sometimes feel like you need some help with the kids?
All the time.
Okay, well,
Never
you
stops,
can check
actually.
out these parenting hacks that's going to make your life a little bit easier. Number one, use cardboard to stop car fighting like this genius dad. He just sectioned off each child. Very cool. Let's take a look at
three
the
little
kids. Metal dad, he actually tied his dreads around the kid. That's pretty cool. And is their last one. Number three, keep your toddler busy by letting them paint the fence with water.
That's clever.
That is so good. Gee, I feel like you're that guy.
That is clever.
That looks amazing.
That's great, dude. You missed a spot, bro. You missed a spot. Oh, that is just too sweet, man. Well, hopefully that's brought a smile to your face this morning. If not, well, we've got more inspirational performances coming your way right now. Making a little bit of music this morning, we are joined by the remarkable talents of the versatile guitar virtuoso Loki Rothman and an awesome gent to boot. He'll be taken to the stage this coming Friday along with Die Heuwels Fantasties, Joe Black and the incomparable Lorika Rauch at Die Liefde by die Arena. But first, he is here this morning performing his latest rework of a Lorika classic, Blow.
As die skemer kom en hy vang my by jou en hy stuur jou terug na jou huis toe. Wie sou verstaan hoe ek sou voel? Wie sou verstaan? Oral om my heen is dit blou, want ek wil by jou wees. Ek wil by jou wees. Vanaand tyd en plek bepaal wat gebeur. Niemand kan dit keer nie. Sê my wat's reg en wat is verkeerd. Wie sou bepaal? Oral om my heen is dit blou, want ek wil by jou wees. Ek wil by jou wees vanaand. Alles is blou. Alles is blou. Alles is blou. Alles oor jou. Blou is die wolke, blou is die maan, blou is die venster waarby ek staan. Blou is my hart en blou my gedagtes, blou om my heen. Alles is blou. Alles is blou. Alles is blou. Alles oor jou. As die skemer kom en hy vang my by jou en hy stuur jou terug na jou huis toe. Wie sou verstaan hoe ek sou voel? Wie sou verstaan? Oral om my heen is dit blou, want ek wil by jou wees. Ek wil by jou wees vanaand.
absolute classic. You did that justice,
Thank you
my
so much.
friend. Wow. Lorica, I think, would be very proud of that performance. And of course, you're going to be sharing the stage with her at Lifter Beatty Arena. But here's the deal, dude. I hope you're prepared this morning because we've got such a talented guitarist and singer here. We're going to play a little bit of game. We're going to put it to you guys, our viewers, to start requesting songs for this man to play. Hit us up on our Expresso Morning Show Facebook page. Are you actually shaking in your boots there? Check how confident he is. It kills me, man. We want you to push this man. We want you to test his limits. Now, put through some interesting songs, suggestions, and if we like them, we'll see if Loki will honor us with a performance of those songs a little bit later. It's going to be fun and games. Dude, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And thank you again for that performance. Absolutely
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Time to get back into the news headlines.
Thank you, Graham. In the national news this morning, the Agriculture Ministry has confirmed that the H5N8 outbreak, also known as bird flu, has spread to more areas, one in Germiston, Gauteng, and the other in the Kinross area in Mpumalanga. The department says that both farms have been quarantined and that no movement of chicken or chicken products are permitted on or off the farms. This brings the total number of farms affected by bird flu in South Africa to 4. The South African Social Security Agency, known as SASSA, has confirmed that it has cancelled the contract of controversial advisory groups to help it make the transition to paying out social grants without the help of a private service provider. The agency says it's acting on advice from Treasury that's found the appointment of so-called work streams to have been irregular. SASSA spokesperson Paseka Latsatsi says the work streams have officially been given notice by the agency's Chief Executive Officer, Thokozani Magwaza, to stop working. Now moving further abroad, the EU's top Brexit negotiator has said that there are still major differences between the EU and the UK on the rights of EU citizens living in Britain. In an address, Michel Barnier says that the European Court of Justice must have jurisdiction to guarantee citizens' rights, adding that it was essential that the UK recognise its financial obligations. Mr. Barnier says that if Britain does not accept that it has some financial obligations, there would be no basis to discuss other issues. And then finally, a 1 trillion-ton iceberg has broken off the West Antarctic ice shelf, says scientists monitoring the area. According to the team at Swansea University, the 2,200 square mile section of the Larsen Sea ice shelf snapped off at some time between Monday and Wednesday this week. While cracks happen periodically, experts are also watching to see whether the process has been affected or accelerated by global warming. Scientists say the breakaway section, which is more than a quarter of the size of Wales, changes the landscape of the peninsula forever. Well, that was your 7 o'clock news update. Let's get our very first look at what's happening in the world of sport. Here's Graham.
We start on a very positive note from a South African perspective this morning as the Proteas women's team secured their 4th win of the World Cup as they beat Sri Lanka by 8 wickets yesterday. South Africa easily chasing down the 102 runs required to seal the win and secure their place in the knockout round with one group stage match left to play. Elsewhere on the day, Australia beat India by 8 wickets, while New Zealand, they suffered a 75-run loss to hosts England. Then match day 3 of the Women's Hockey World League semi-finals took place yesterday, and it saw South Africa sadly fall to a 3-1 loss to Argentina. Although it was South Africa who opened the scoring in the 28th minute, the South Americans came back with 3 goals in the space of 17 minutes to earn their 2nd win of the tournament. Some other results from yesterday's action saw wins for India, Ireland and Japan. Then back to the tour. Marcel Kittel's dominance in this year's Tour de France continued yesterday as he powered to his 5th win of the tour with victory at stage 11. Kittel backed up his stage 10 win on Tuesday with another flawless performance yesterday, finishing the 203-kilometre stage in 4 hours and 34 minutes. Race leader Chris Froome, he did, however, maintain his 18-second advantage over Italian Aru Fabio to hold onto that yellow jersey for now. Then the big guns are falling at Wimbledon. World number 1 Andy Murray was knocked out of Wimbledon yesterday as he suffered a shock 3-2 quarterfinal loss to American Sam Querrey. Murray, the defending champion, picked up a hip injury in the 3rd set, and that proved to be his downfall as Querrey fought back from being 2-1 behind. Then other results from the day saw wins for Roger Federer and Marin Cilic, while Novak Djokovic, he also retired hurt during his game against Thomas Berdych. That's where we leave our sporting headlines for now.
Well, let's take another look at your roads, starting off in Gauteng in Lenasia. Now, there's been reports of protest action taking place in Lenasia South, with a couple of roads being blocked off. So if possible, please avoid this route this morning. In Edenvale on the N3 northbound, there's a stationary vehicle. That's before the Modderfontein Road exit. Traffic is queuing. That's from the Galulis interchange. That's where we leave. Oh, we got one in Cape Town as well. My apologies. In Athlone on the N2 inbound, there are some delays. That's between the N7 Jakes Gerwel Drive and Hospital Bend. That's where we leave your traffic for now. Do stick around. We'll bring you a final update shortly.
Just a couple of minutes past 7 o'clock. Let's quickly get into your temperatures once more. And warmer temperatures are expected for the northwestern parts of the country, while over in the Eastern Cape, you can expect a couple of showers. And then Cradock, Sutherland and Worcester, they all kickstart this morning in the negative. So nice and cold morning indeed. Ons laat weer vinnig deur. Polokwane begin op 6 grade minimum en 'n maksimum van 25. Mbombela 12 en 'n warm 32. Later Pretoria 8:23. Johannesburg begin op 7, dit styg na 22 grade. Mahikeng 9:26. Klerksdorp 10 grade minimum en ook 'n maksimum van 26. Kimberley 5:21. Bloemfontein ronde 0, dit styg na warmer 21 maksimum. Richards Bay begin op 14, dit styg na 22. Pietermaritzburg 9 en 'n maksimum van 20. Durban starting off on 16 with a maximum 22. Mthatha 4:15. East London 8:17. Cradock on -2 with a maximum of 16. Port Elizabeth 8:18. George 5:13. Sutherland very cold today, -4 this morning, staying cold with a maximum of only 11 degrees. Cape Town 7:16. Worcester -1:15. Springbok 4:19. And Uppington starting off on 8 degrees minimum with a maximum of 22 degrees. That's a wrap for your weather for the 7 o'clock bulletin. We've got one more update for you just after 8.
So it is a Thursday, so we like to throw it back and maybe looking for a little inspiration heading into the second test against England tomorrow. Needing a little inspiration, we thought we'd focus on an inspirational cricketing figure, Ashwell Prince, who was appointed as South Africa's first non-white test cricket captain to lead the Protea team in Sri Lanka way back 11 years ago. So we thought we'd share some interesting facts about this incredible sportsman and celebrate this legendary batsman for our Throwback Thursday.
That's right. Well, our first interesting fact is that, did you know that Prince was ranked as high as 10th in the world among the test batsmen in January 2007.
2007, yeah.
Did I say 27?
He could have a comeback, we just don't know. Then Prince played 66 tests for the Proteas between 2002 and 2011, scoring 3,665 runs at an average of, get this, 41.6, which included 11 hundreds and 11 50s. Pedigree.
That's incredible. Now, former Warrior coach Pete Botha called Prince the ultimate warrior, saying his passion on and off the field is what had a positive effect on the team.
I love that. When Ashwell was announced, or when he at least announced his retirement from cricket, he said, "I am thankful that I have had a wonderful career from sport that I love, and thank everyone that has been involved in any way over the past 19 years of my career." What an absolute gentleman in the game.
Well, let us know who your favourite South African cricket player is. That's on social media. Let us know your thoughts using our hashtag Expresso Show and Throwback Thursday.
Well, it's time for us to head to social media this morning. We're looking at the hashtag Thursday Thoughts, and oh, it's so inspirational. Why don't you give it a look? It says like this: if it scares you, it might be a good thing to try. Ooh, I like that one. How about this one? A true friend celebrates success equally as if it was his own. Be that friend. Hashtag friendship, hashtag Thursday Thoughts. Another one that I like here so much. Never argue with a fool. Someone watching may not be able to tell the difference. Sure. And then I like this one to end off with: sometimes problems don't require a solution to solve them. Instead, they require maturity to outgrow them. Hear, hear. If you're looking for some inspiration, why don't you go and check out hashtag Thursday Thoughts.
All right, well, stick around with us on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Still lots heading your way. My man Stuart is back with a nice little stretch routine. We're doing some yoga after the break, and then he's also jumping into the kitchen, sorting us out with a nice little start your day fresh smoothie. Almond, banana and chia seeds. It sounds amazing. Don't miss it, and more after the break.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Thank you so much for choosing to tune in this morning. We love having you join us. Now, Vodacom is about to meg your day yet again with up to 1 free gig of data. That's a lot. Vodacom is offering customers a chance to explore more of the internet with the Meg Your Day campaign by giving you access to a new site every day of the week. And Thursday is all about Instagram, and we love Instagram on this show. So Instagram Thursday, Vodacom is going to be giving you access to this platform without any data charges. And Tia Matthews, an aspiring photographer and avid user of the platform, is here to tell us a bit more about how he uses Instagram to display his very impressive images. Take a look at that, dude.
How are you? Welcome to the show.
You don't seem that impressed with your own image, man. You're supposed to go like,
I like it. I like it.
I'm glad, man. I'm
Pretty
guessing that's a key
amazing.
to your success,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Now,
you
I
gotta
know
love
living
it.
in a place like Cape Town with a beautiful scenery, it's hard not to take a good picture. But do you want to take us through the story behind some of the top photos that you've taken?
So I think in Cape Town it's just such a blessing because I mean you have the mountain in your backyard, there's the beach, there's all these hikes, there's the city, everything's just there for you. You just have to take advantage of it. I mean, this photo we took it on Kloof Corner. We came around the bend and we thought the sunset was going to be dead. We saw this absolutely like blood red sky. It was amazing.
Purples, blues coming out. It's
This photo on Signal Hill just took advantage of the light trails of the cars coming past. And the natural lights of the city spewing onto the clouds, and the Table Mountain being lit up. And then this is one of my favorite photos of the 12 Apostles with one of the most spectacular sunsets I've seen in a long time.
Very nice.
And the novelty never wears off.
It doesn't. Every time you see it, you're just like, wow.
Oh, it's absolutely amazing. Along with these incredible landscapes, you take these intense portraits as well. How do you approach taking an amazing portrait? You are capturing that young lady's essence, dude.
So I think for portraits, the main thing is connection. Because, I mean, you want the viewer to feel a connection and that emotion in the shot. So you have to build a connection with the subject. And in that way, you're able to express that connection through the portrait. And then all of that comes through in the body language and the eyes. It all comes through in the shot.
That's very cool. Now, you've also done amazing travel shots as well. Do you want to take us through why some of them are so popular on Instagram?
So I think the thing about travel photography is it's that same appeal that you get from watching a cooking show, where you can sort of taste the flavors. You get that essence of travel from looking at a travel shot.
Gorgeous.
You know? So, I mean, and it's great because you get to meet all these people who take you around their city and show you all these sites that you wouldn't have seen otherwise.
And you can see there's an emotional investment in the kind of work that you're doing. Why Instagram? What is it about Instagram that has made it such a powerful platform? Because it's arisen, and it is. There's just something so captivating about this platform in particular.
I think what makes it different from just the normal accessibility of all the other platforms is that with Instagram, it's really a collaborative space. So people recognize that collaboration is a major tool to use. And so they invest in that and make connections with other people so that they can build together rather than build by themselves.
Oh, I love that, man. Part of the global village, dude.
Yeah, that's
it's amazing. You've dropped some absolute gems here this morning. So anyone who is looking to build their profile, just know that you've got to back it up with a bit of gravitas. You've got to be able to take some good pictures as well and really connect with your content, dude. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's been inspirational. If you want to meg your day and put yourself on the same path, all you need to do is buy a Vodacom 100 meg data bundle or more and have a positive data balance. It's as simple as that.
Exactly. Then dial *111 *634# or download the latest My Vodacom app to opt in. You can use your free data today to explore Instagram like Tahir does and let us know what you find by using the hashtags Expresso Show and hashtag Meg Your Day.
Oh, well, listen, we have Stuart Curtin in studio with us from Yo Yoga, and it's all about doing some yoga. In fact, this morning we are doing a winter warm stretch or warm up.
That's good enough.
Whichever you choose. Yeah. Stuart, it's great to have you back on Expresso.
As always, it's great to be back. Thank you for having me.
Cool. So talk me through the winter warmer. Like, what can we expect?
Well, obviously it's freezing in the morning at the moment, so what I'm doing in the vest, I don't know yet. But we're going to soon warm up, so we won't worry about it. Yeah. So it's a winter warming practice, also to stimulate boosting your immune system, and we're focusing particularly on the lymphatic drainage. Okay. So first thing is to get the head below the heart. If you could just bend your knees, take the weight off the lower back, you're going to fold all the way forward and down and take your middle index and thumb, so your peace fingers and your thumb, onto your big toe. It's good to do a length, and as you inhale, lift your chest, halfway lift this is called, and then exhale, fold down, and then just tuck in your chin to make sure the neck is long and your shoulders are nice and soft. So you're gradually just going to stay here for a moment, Zoe. It's good to spend about 5 to 10 breaths, particularly in forward bends. And if you want to feel active for the stretch, you can begin to work the backs of the knees to the wall behind you. Make sure the shoulders are soft and make sure the head is dropped so it's fully relaxed in the upper back. This is very important. Now you can take 5, 10, 20 breaths here, a minute or two, it's up to you. You're going to first of all come out, bend your knees, sit into the heels, and then tuck a tailbone and really unravel up the length of the back body. Beautiful. Bringing the toes to touch. We're going to create a little bit of movement. As we inhale, float the palms up for high mountain. We're going to move into a downward dog and exhale, fold all the way down into the legs. Again, lift your chest halfway, lift, and then palms flat, shoulder width. You're going to step your right foot, your left foot back into a downward dog. So Zoe, just walk your feet a little bit closer. You want a little bit of space between the heels and the floor. Now this posture is called the great equalizer of the body. It's a good stretch for the left and right and the whole back body. Head below heart, so it's very stimulating for lymphatic drainage. It's a good wake up early in the morning like today. So we're going to take as long as you like there, and you're going to come into a little twist, stepping the right foot forward, drop the left knee onto the ground. And this is just to draw your left elbow to the outside of your right knee, palms to prayer. And this is great for really just twisting into the kidneys, so firing up the kidneys early in the morning, develops heat in the body, and really helps the mobility with your spine, because the spine's often cold as well.
Yes.
Let's change quickly. So downward dog, right foot back, left foot forward, and then quickly, so you're nice and balanced, twist into the opposite side. Again, firing up those kidneys. You should feel warmth developing in the lower belly and back. And then lastly, we're going to finish with one forward bend. Step the left foot back. Take the feet as wide, about a leg's distance apart, and walk your hands backwards. So one of your legs distance apart. So if you're a Smurf, you're not going to go too long. Take your hands onto your feet, tuck your chin, and then just taking as long as you need here. Really working the stretch by pulling onto the feet with the hands, pushing off the floor with the feet, taking a few deep breaths, and then simply bring your hands back onto the mat, feet towards hip width distance apart, weight in the heels, and tuck your tailbone to slowly unravel up. You can roll the shoulders out to let it go. You might feel a lot of blood and fresh oxygen having flown up into the body and into the brain.
Oh, amazing. Stuart, thank you so much for joining us
It's
this morning.
It
was incredible. I hope you enjoyed that at home. And of course, make sure that you also do the winter warm-up this winter. Well, listen, it's time for us to now head on into the kitchen.
Great.
Thank you so much, guys. Nothing like a nice little yoga stretch routine to get you going early in the morning, but pair that with a delicious smoothie and you've got a winning recipe. That's what we're making this morning. A banana, almond and chia seed. Start your day awesome kind of smoothie with Stuart. Get in here, my brother.
Thanks, Ed.
Nice, man. Listen, nice little yoga routine.
Thank you.
So now after the workout, always nice to replenish with something beautiful, maybe to start your day. Also, maybe even after a workout, this smoothie would be great.
Yeah. Even something light like this you can have before a yoga practice on occasion, as long as you don't feel too full.
That's the thing. Okay,
it's
cool.
It's really wonderful. So milk's a great replacement for dairy, as you know, almond milk, sorry.
Yeah.
It's also got that rich creaminess of a milk, which is different to soya and rice milk. So it makes it feel like you're drinking milk, even though you're not.
Okay, so let's kick off. We'll start off with the bananas then, yeah?
Yes, bananas, always a good base. And now, bananas got lots of potassium and good for the joints. The almond milk you can mix in there as well, or with the cinnamon powder, I believe that is.
Ah, yes.
This is a good immune boosting, warming the body up from the inside out.
And then our chia seeds.
Chia seeds full of omega-3s, roughage, great for protein levels as well.
Some sustainable energy there as well.
Yes, thank you very much. That's
and then
right.
Cocoa powder.
Cacao, very stimulating, it's high in antioxidants and energizing as well. And then, of course, nature's nectar honey, which is an awesome thing for boosting your immune system. Best not to heat up your honey, so in a smoothie it's perfect, keeps all the nutrients stacked in the honey.
And it's also what is antifungal and antibacterial.
That is right. So it's
amazing.
I like to call it nature's nectar because it's such a special thing from nature that's given to us. And then oats, obviously good old-fashioned oats.
Yeah.
Good for roughage and just filling the body up, getting you through the day.
Right, so let's get some almond milk in there. Beautiful. This is going to be absolutely delicious.
Yeah, it's like Christmas in a cup almost with the cinnamon there.
Christmas in a cup, I like that. Listen, SMS the keyword drink to 33728 to get your hands on this awesome recipe. And then you could be making this after your yoga routine. Why not? Quickly give it a bend. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. You give it a few seconds, you know.
Yeah, 5,
that's good. 4, 3, 2,
1. That should be good, yeah.
There we go.
I can tell you've made a lot of smoothies, huh?
Oh, you know, we try, eh? We try. Made our fair share, but this is absolutely beautiful, and I love all the ingredients. The almond milk, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And it smells
it's very comforting
amazing.
flavour and smoothie as well. The cinnamon always adds a kind of homely, comforting kind of flavour to it.
That.
Yeah,
exactly.
They look super healthy and delicious.
Exactly what you want after a nice workout. So there we have it. Start your day great with Stewart's almond, banana, and chia smoothie. SMS the keyword drink to 33728. My man, thank you very much.
Thank you, my man.
Always lovely to see you. Stretching
Thanks,
us out
pal.
in the mornings. The keyword is drink to 33728.
Oh, well, if that didn't warm you up, this really should warm you from the inside out. It's almost Mandela Day, and if you're looking for a way to give back to this country that has given us so much, why not be a part of the 27 Suitcases campaign with one of our partners, Travel Start. Now, from now up until the 18th of July, Travel Start are going to be collecting clothes, toiletries, non-perishable food, and especially children's toys for those in need.
Exactly. Well, these items will fill 27 suitcases and will be sent to 27 charities across the country. Now, for drop-off details, please visit the Travel Start blog, and if you drop off at the Travel Start head office in Cape Town, you will be rewarded with a free cup of coffee. Yes. Now, make a difference in someone's life with Africa's leading online travel agency, Travel Start.
All right, well, still ahead on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's a rather interesting day. It's Embrace Your Geekness Day. Yeah, we're going to chat just after the break and find out what that is all about. And then we're also asking you, all South Africans, a question. How much do you spend on fast foods? It's a rather interesting number. Stick around for that and a whole lot more after the break.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back on a momentous day. Today is International Embrace Your Geekness Day. And this is, embrace this. And this is the opportunity we have to really indulge in the thing that makes you a geek. Because you may never know, it might lead you down the road to success. Let's take a look.
Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sibu Mbanza and this is another VDM. VDM is where I make a video every day in May. I know, I said every day. I said what I said. Today we're doing a Q&A that we started last month and we just didn't get to finishing it, so we will finish it this month. Let's get right to it.
Oh, well, that was top South African YouTuber Sibu Mpanza on being a YouTube vlogger in the country. And he is joining us this morning on Expresso to explain how his geekness over the video sharing platform has made him such a big hit today. Good morning.
Thank you very much.
Dude, you look so proud of your video.
I mean, look at that.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
You know, I love that. I always say, you know, you need to embrace the thing that makes you different. And how do you feel embracing your geekiness has, you know, set you apart?
I think it's a very big thing to enjoy what it is you do and to know every little detail and nook and cranny. And something I really enjoyed was consuming YouTube. And that's the reason I started in general. So I think it really helped to not just be somebody who creates content, but be somebody who's a viewer at the same time. So you understand both sides, exactly, yeah.
Where is the South African mindset when it comes to YouTube? We're often a little bit behind the curve, but we've got the likes of superstars, Casper Lee, kind of paving a new path. We love him on the show. He connected here, and I think, just letting you know, this was a bit of a tipping point for him. He went to suddenly like 500 million after this.
This is where it happens.
But where is the South African mindset when it comes to this incredible platform?
I think right now there are people who are noticing that the numbers of YouTube content creators are growing, but I still think people don't see it as, people see it as a hobby that's just too much effort and they don't want to do it. But the nice thing I love about it is that you can create video content about anything and everything. So if you have your thing that you love talking about, it literally could be anything. You can just make a video on your phone, upload it to YouTube, and somebody will watch it.
I love that, you know, because you don't need to have the big green screen studio.
Exactly.
A lot of people have been doing it even from their bedrooms, which is quite
That was
entertaining.
where I started,
Yes. Now, tell me, where do you think what's the trajectory for YouTube in South Africa?
I think it's starting to grow as a career option for a lot of people. I'm one of the few people who is doing it full time, and it is a scary job, but it's becoming that thing that people can do. So you don't just have to be a fashion blogger to be a successful blogger. You don't have to be somebody who writes. You can be a video blogger, and I think that is where it's going now. Yeah.
How do you, I'm going to just ask you to speak plainly, how do you commercialize it? How do you monetize what you are doing? How do you turn it into a career?
So there's sort of 3 different ways that we can get paid. The first one is through Google ad revenue. So those ads that play in the beginning, that's on the sidebar. The second way, which is the way, exactly, the second way, which is the way that I do it most of the time, is doing sponsored and branded content. So a brand will come to me and say, Sibu, we'd like you to talk about our
You're so hot right now.
I mean, and then... and then I'll put in the video, or speak about it in a way, and I'll package it to match my content. And then the third video would be me as a face and a brand going onto another sort of brand's social media, and that's where I'd be, and they'd use my face more than me creating the content itself.
Oh, that's quite clever. So you do like collaborate like that.
Exactly, yeah.
But I want to know from you, like, what's your favorite topics to touch on? Do you have a specific
what gets you inspired?
genre?
Yeah.
My specific genre is current affairs and politics, so I'm that person who always just pokes the bear. And that's what's gotten like the biggest hits is comedy, but at the same time that stuff that just makes people uncomfortable.
We're all thinking it, but you're saying it.
Exactly.
And I mean, and this is a real-time, very open, connected space. Do you get a lot of kind of backlash from the kind of content that you do?
A lot. Like, I was just reading, in the green room, I was just literally reading some comments from the past few days, and literally every single day I will get backlash about my YouTube videos, but it's part of the job.
Then you know you're getting it right, man. Absolutely love that. So develop a thick skin if you want to survive in this game, dude.
Yeah, that's
Sibu, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Me.
I love this. I love this. And I'm all for International Brace Your Geek Day, or at least celebrate it. And that's exactly what we did today. So make sure you go and subscribe to his YouTube channel. And of course, do stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast show.
Love it, man. I say it every time. We have the most talented people down here in South Africa. Right now, though, on your Feel Good Breakfast show, we're taking a turn on a feel-good note. Now, we can often take the comforts and care in our own lives for granted. And if we take the spotlight off ourselves for a second, we realize that it can be very rewarding to help out in a local community, like with our next story, and also with Mandela Day just around the corner. Maybe giving back is something you need to start thinking about right now.
Situated along the Garden Route in the Eastern Cape is Port Elizabeth, a major port town which is one of the largest cities in South Africa. Internationally known as a tourist haven, there's another haven bringing a whole different kind of smile to the community.
The aim at the MTR Smith Children's Haven is to provide a home for 95 children in need of care who have been removed from their parents because of their well-being being placed at risk. We provide services to children between the ages of 3 and 18 years who are in need of care and protection. Any child, doesn't matter where he comes from, and it is the whole Eastern Cape at this stage.
The MTR Smith Children's Haven offers a caring environment consisting of 9 houses for up to 100 children between the age of 3 and 18 years who have been removed from parental care and now call this their home.
I've been living at the Children's Haven for 2 months. I have been staying in the Children's Home for 7 years.
I've been here for now 7 years. I came into this place 2010.
Every year, the kids look forward to an exciting bazaar aimed at them having a great day full of fun, friendly encounters, and even in-haven performances. The star of the day was Globy, proudly South African courier company Globe Flight's mascot. You might have seen him before, here, and here.
Our relationship with Children's Haven started in 2013, where Globe Flight and its staff decided to have a garage sale, and all donations that we collected on the day came to MTR Children's Haven. As a resident of Port Elizabeth, we see what is important and what is needed, and we identified MTR Children's Haven as one of the areas where we can really make a difference. The idea of Globy being part of the day today, obviously being the children, a big part of the day, we decided to bring Globey here, and Globey has lots of fun, and so does the kids, so it's a win-win.
The children enjoyed themselves with some mesmerizing reptile encounters, which definitely had them standing on their toes, followed by some exciting and interactive martial arts demonstrations and classes.
To come this morning is to motivate the young generation to be involved in all sports activities, especially martial art. For supporting the community is to uplift the standard that we are living in currently. As we can see, most of the young guys, they end up in using drugs, and also some of them, the young guys, they use alcohol, and they end up not having future for themselves. That's why any kid, if you do something on a daily basis, so that mind will always be positive.
Community support and understanding play an important part in the success of this initiative, which enables a brighter future for these children.
I think today it's important because it helps the children's home to fundraise, and it helps the children's home to get better, and it helps also the people outside to know that there is children out there that are in need, that need the support. Today it's just awesome.
I think today is important to show the children that there is people who care about us.
Days like today are important due to the fact that you can make a difference in your area. So I really want to say to people out there listening and watching, go out, have a look and see what is available in your area, your town, and make a difference, because you can.
The combination of fundraising, creating awareness, the residents showing their arts and talents made for a successful and unforgettable day for everyone involved, especially the Havens residents.
So beautiful stuff. Now let's get into some rather sobering facts. Almost a generation ago, eating out regularly was practically unheard of, and takeaways were, I think, considered a family treat, a once-in-a-while kind of thing. But now fast forward to today, and takeouts are seen more as a staple than a spoil. We've got some very interesting stats here that we've gleaned from Lightstone Explore. We recently took a closer look at South Africa's spending habits when it comes to fast food and takeaways. You don't like the name? Fast food and takeaways.
Well, I don't like takeaways, because I think takeaways, I immediately think unhealthy, but takeaways are also healthy. Even you can go from restaurants and order your takeaways. But
Sounds like you're reaching,
I'm a little nervous to find out this answer, but are we big spenders as South Africans when it comes to takeaways?
Zoe, we only spend a paltry 2 billion rand a month.
Oh.
2 billion a month on takeaways. Not necessarily all burgers, but that is shocking. That is quite
scary,
hectic.
because I know in America it's cheaper to do takeaways than actually do grocery shopping, which is the scary thing.
And they do it en masse, and that could have something to do with how often we are buying takeaways. So looking at this particular stat, which I find really fascinating, that we are spending, this 2 billion a month, which is really interesting, but how often we are doing it. It's estimated that we are getting takeaways up to 3 times a week, and some people up to only just once a month. I know you've taken a pledge to lessen the amount that you're doing.
more than 3 times a week.
But it really has. It seems now that it's been integrated into our lives as a norm, and maybe the accessibility has something to do with that.
Do you think? Yeah, I was about to ask you. Do you think the accessibility is the reason we buy the takeaways?
Well, they reckon what makes up this 2 billion rand spend, that 90% of South Africans live within 5 kilometres of at least one fast food chain. In fact, we've had one move in across the road from our studio and even sends us breakfasts every now and then, which makes it difficult. With half of these people having a restaurant close to 1 kilometre away, and we know that there are ways that now even restaurants always unhealthy options.
No.
There are healthier options, or at least they are sold that way.
Yes, well, at least I always find the healthier versions a little bit more expensive. but how much do we as South Africans spend on takeouts?
I know this is a self-indulgent because you're looking to save money by not spending on takeouts. So it looks like that most households in the highest income bracket, they're likely to spend up to 1,500 rand a month, which is crazy. And they visit a takeout or kind of fast food chain 2 to 3 times a week, and spending more than 200 rand a pop. And you were finding that was about your saving, about 150 odd, hey?
Yes, but that's just skipping out one night of choosing to cook for myself instead.
Yeah, hopefully this is going to reinforce that. And it looks like the biggest spenders out there, Johannesburg, maybe they've got the most fast food outlets, followed by Cape Town and then Tshwane. But it's our biggest cities, understandably, are our biggest spenders. Interesting stuff.
Well, I would love to know from you at home, how much do you spend on takeouts? Let us know on social media. Remember our hashtag Expresso Show.
Well, when it comes to your hard-earned cash that they were just talking about, one of the most important keys to saving success is to view saving as something you do on a regular and disciplined basis. Now, if you think of saving as something that you do only when you have the money left over at the end of the month, well, this could be a recipe for disaster. It is important to have a proper household budget and to stick to it, because most people don't have a clue of what they're actually spending their money on every month. Here. We're all a little bit guilty of this, I think.
Absolutely. This thing called budget, This thing called budget. It is a tough one. It is a tough one. But the Nedbank pay-as-you-use account for only R5 a month, it has been designed to help you save. So for just R5 a month, you get unlimited card swipes and free cell phone and internet banking. And this is fully transparent. It's really a fully transparent account that keeps you in control of what you pay for and use. So if you are interested in saving with Nedbank pay-as-you-use account, just SMS NEDPAYU to 30755 and you'll receive all the information that you need. SMSs are free and terms and conditions can be found on netbank.co.za.
I'm a dreamer, a doer. I know the hustle. I just need my money to hustle for me.
Let your money hustle for you. Get a bank account for R5 per month and bank on the Nedbank app without using any data. See money differently. Nedbank.
Oh, my goodness, the deliciousness continues on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Do not go anywhere, because Zola's here. She's going to show us how to make cheesy French fries. Who said summer bodies are made in winter?
Get out of here. Oh, that is unbelievable. And this will be the perfect accompaniment to a movie. JP Sebastian is back in the hot seat for more on the box office. That looks amazing. Guy, just one. I need just one
hard.
little
It just came
guy.
out the
Come
oven.
on.
No.
Ek het al lank al emigreer. Ja, gaan net so 'n paar. Die wêreld is my woning nie. Toe as jy sou verstaan. Ek reis al meer na binne. Tot die tyd word. Tot die tyd word om te gaan. Tyd word om te gaan.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Thank you so much for choosing to start your day with us. Let's find out what the stars have been up to. As always, we try and read the face.
Love is in the air. That's what's happening.
Cool.
Love is in the air this morning for not one, but two new couples. Now, after months of speculation, we can finally confirm that Nina Dobrev and Glenn Powell are in fact dating. Now, the pair, who have been friends for a while, are said to be very in love already, thanks to a post like their La La Land spoof and several red carpet appearances together. The strongest confirmation, however, comes from these photos taken at Julianne Hough's wedding, Julianne, this weekend, where Nina served as a bridesmaid and Glenn her date. Now, we could see this romance coming a while back, and we fully approve. I mean, just look at how cute the two of them are together.
He looks so happy to be a part of that couple. He's just like living his best life.
I know. He's like, how lucky am I? Well, on to another hot new Hollywood romance. It's said to be brewing between Jesse Williams and Minka Kelly. The pair, who are co-stars in The Butler, attempted to keep a low profile when they stepped out together for a movie night earlier this week. Minka and Jessie both tried to go incognito thanks to baggy clothes and hats, but left. But I know it was them a mile away. So who knows?
Well, that's the problem if the paparazzi is looking for you and you come out in like an oversized hoodie and a cap and sunglasses.
That's actually drawing more attention to you.
Why are they hiding themselves?
Exactly.
Yes.
Even with our celebrities, I just want to say, when you walk into a restaurant and you're wearing dark glasses and you're the only person doing it, we gonna know something's up. Okay, so just be normal. I see people wearing big dark glasses and I'm like, you stand out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
So just be normal.
I love him in Grey's Anatomy, so
yeah,
happy
he's
for
cool,
him.
man. Yeah, he's very cool.
So cute.
Well,
I love him.
Is that our international entertainment news?
That's it. Just think if Jessie Williams and I got married. I'd
Those
be Leanne
beautiful
Williams.
Leanne Williams,
Hey?
hyphenated. Williams.
I love it.
There you go. That's what we have for you on our international entertainment front.
All right, jumping into the kitchen right now with the lovely Zola Nene, who looking all too beautiful this morning. I'm just saying, but...
So sweet.
I know. But tomorrow is Bastille Day, so it's only fitting that we celebrate French Fries Day today.
Obviously.
In style, which is going to be amazing. So we want to know from you, how do you like to eat your French fries? Do you like to use mustard, ketchup? Do you like to do something funny with them? Do you like them crispy? Of 'n lekker slap chip? Who knows?
I like a slap chip.
A lekker slap chip met 'n visie.
Yeah,
Gaan ons lekker.
yeah.
Fish and chips, huh?
Yes.
Anyway, so Zola's got a different kind of French fry recipe for us.
Yes.
A gourmet one.
A gourmet. Well, it's not really gourmet,
Look,
but
man, if you're going to throw a cheesy sauce in there,
totally, and
it's
it's
going to be a
actually
gourmet.
it's a really great way to use up old chips, not old like
Old
moldy,
potatoes.
like cold chips, because sometimes you want a crispy chip and then you leave it for a while, then it gets like wrinkly and cold and soggy, and then you can still use them for this recipe.
Okay,
I like mine
stale
soggy
chips.
though. I like soggy chips, so it's okay for me.
You like soggy chips?
I do.
Okay.
So for a French fry to be a French fry, it's got to be cut a certain way.
Okay.
Right. So technically, in the technical term, it's called allumette. That's the type of cut.
Okay. Allumette.
So, and I also don't peel my chips because all the goodness in the potatoes
in
near
the
the
skin.
skin, right? Okay. So this is how you safely cut your own French fry.
Right.
So cut the one side off and then flat side, because
Okay.
safety first, right? Okay. Then slice, okay, and you want it to be sort of just bigger than
like what is that,
matchstick
like a
size. Can you see?
centimetre?
Maybe just a little bit
Just a
less than
little
a
less than a
centimetre.
centimetre,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. So then cut all the chips. So you'll cut all the rest of the potato, and then you'll cut across to get the perfect chip. Look there.
Look at that.
Then for also the perfect chip, you need to make sure that you wash your potato just to get the extra
Yes.
starch off. Okay. But then of course water and oil,
Does
very
not
big
mix.
enemies.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure that you dry your chips, just
Okay.
like so. Okay. And if you want a crispy chip, you want to double fry your chips. So first you're going to blanch them in the oil.
Okay.
So the oil will be at about like 160 degrees if you have a
Yes.
thermometer. Okay,
Okay.
so that the chips cook really gently at first. Can you see there's like a little bit of a bubble, not too vigorous, okay? Then you're going to take them out and then increase the temperature to about 180 degrees. And then you're going to fry them again, and then you'll get really crispy chips.
Okay.
But for these type of chips, you can just fry them once,
Okay.
and then you'll be fine.
And then that's what you're left with.
Then you're left with that.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, then you're going to make the cheesy sauce, which is a regular bechamel.
Okay.
So see, we're keeping things French.
Some butter,
So
right.
a bit of butter, melted, and then some flour. Flour and the butter. We're making a roux. Melt the two together.
Okay.
Then I like to season my roux at this stage with a bit of salt. And then you're going to add some milk. If you're scared of lumps, use warm milk. That helps not form lumps, obviously.
Okay.
Okay, but just use a whisk and whisk it all in. And then all you do is you bring this to the simmer and you give it a nice boil, and then it'll thicken,
It'll
just like
thicken
that.
up like that.
Then at this stage, you want to add some cheese. Some cheese, and then you want to season again with some salt and pepper. I like black pepper with my cheesy chips.
Oh,
But if you
look
want
at
to use
that.
white pepper, you can. Okay, so now you're going to grab, I'll just bit myself. You're going to grab that and pop it in there for me.
Okay, so all of these chips.
All those chips into the little bowl.
All
and then
right.
this is our cheesy sauce, which is going to go on top. And then you want to, oh wait, no, wrong bowl.
But so loud.
It's okay, I can fix it. Look, okay. Just like that.
Okay.
Into
just
the
like-
oven bowl, okay?
Right.
Then you're going to drizzle over some sauce, as much or as little as you want. Then preheat your grill in the oven. Okay, so grab the ones that's ready. Don't burn yourself.
We are moving at a very fast
Oh,
pace
yeah,
here.
no,
The key
we
word
don't
is potato
play
to
around with chips.
33728. Potato to 33728. Oh,
Yeah.
wow, look at the magic.
There you go. So then they go crispy. It bubbles. You can add a bit more cheese just before you pop it in there. And then, you're sitting in front of a movie.
Oh,
You're just lazing around on a Saturday.
Can I just say my description of gourmet chips was exactly, it was extremely accurate.
A bit of bacon, because, you know, you can't go wrong with some chips and some bacon.
Well, you know.
And then a bit of chive, just to give it a bit of colour.
Yes, I know you like it at home. I can see, I can tell, I can feel it. SMS the keyword potato to 33728. That's potato to 33728. Zola, you've done us proud.
French Friday.
If global politics can seem a bit like that of a banana republic right now, then this weekend's big movie could be even hairier. While War of the Planet of the Apes returns the magnificent Andy Serkis as Caesar to lead all apes made smarter through human hubris to a promised land of their own. While standing in their way is a twisted colonel played by Woody Harrelson and his fanatical human militia. This is War.
Have you finally come to save your apes?
I came for you.
For me? My God. Look at your eyes. Almost human. How did you know I was here?
I was told you were coming. That more soldiers from the north would be joining you here.
Joining me?
To finish us off. For good.
Who told you that?
Wow, wee wah. That is some spine-chilling stuff. Well, here to tell us more about War of the Planet of the Apes, JP Sebastian. I was just saying to JP, it's so nice to see Woody Harrelson in something that's not as ditzy as the other things that he's done. And you were saying he's one of the best actors out there.
Yeah, it's weird that people are sort of only discovering this, I think, after True Detective. The guy is so versatile and actually so subtle. In the same way, I suppose, like Matt Damon plays a normal dude, but the range within that, he's something special. In this, you can see there from the scene you just saw, he's playing sort of a Kurtz, what Marlon Brando did in Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
The story being that Caesar and his ape-kin are just trying to, keep themselves peacefully separated from human beings. They just want the forest, and they want humans to sort of respect that.
But we don't allow things like that.
But humans are becoming fundamentalist. They're building a wall. Which they actually are.
Okay.
And
I'm
yes.
going to watch this movie.
Yeah.
Tips.
Sort of strong messages about fascism in a post-apocalyptic world. The story is that Woody Harrelson kills Caesar's wife and baby.
Oh my God.
And drives Caesar to close to the tipping point. So the dude, the dude is like the dude, Caesar, the ape, is always like trying to progress and trying to look beyond whatever kind of savagery humans might associate with monkeys or apes rather at all times, and this is really testing his empathy towards the human race. During the movie, he finds a young human who can't speak. She's sort of, it seems, mute, and she acts through the whole thing as this sort of reflector, this mirror up to him about you don't have to be a savage. You don't have to become as uncivilized as the human race. There's a lot of layers to it. It's quite dense in that way.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to, you could read into it politically as long as you like, going colonialism, post-colonialism. You could go into ecology, into climate change, all that kind of stuff. The dense stuff like Trump, for example, and whatnot. And not a minute is wasted in that regard. Technically, such an achievement. That's all motion capture of Andy Serkis, the guy who played Gollum, and Oscar, if you're watching. Talking to the Academy, seriously, Andy Serkis and Steve Zahn can be considered for nominations at the Academy.
Well, I like what I'm seeing. It looks like it is going to be an incredible movie. The question that we have to ask right now is how many popcorns does JP Sebastian give War of the Planet of the Apes?
The dreaded question. Banana feels sort of like not PC to the apes at this point. If I talk any longer, I just add more stars, and there's not enough more than what I wanted to give it 10, but in fact it's 8.5. Not as good as the previous one, but it doesn't go enough into exploring. The whole point is, how are they making a civilization of their own, a culture of their own? And they sort of skim back on that. It's mostly just a revenge story. But what an achievement from these actors. And Steve Zahn, who's usually a goofy comic actor, pulls out all the stops. He's also really, really good.
Absolutely amazing. Well, thank you so much, JP Sebastian, for taking us through what we can expect this weekend. And if you want to go and see more of the Planet of the Apes, make sure that you do so at a new Metro cinema near you.
Find the best entertainment at new Metro cinemas. It's your scene.
Well, on that note, the Expresso New Metro Club, it keeps on giving. And the best part, the club covers the latest films in the best formats, and sometimes we throw in exceptional exclusive cinemas going experiences as well.
Exactly. Now, this week we bring you an extra special movie event like no other by transporting cinema goers to a first screening and a full entertainment event of Valerian, the City of 1,000 Planets.
World-renowned director Luc Besson, best known for The Fifth Element, treats movie fans to yet another once-in-a-lifetime film spectacular. When a dark force threatens the existence of a vast metropolis of the future, two special operatives are the only chance of salvation. Be the first in South Africa to experience Besson's masterpiece, Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets, at a special screening event on the 20th of July. With themed drinks, food and entertainment, New Metro's exclusive VIP cinema in Hyde Park will be transformed into the City of 1,000 Planets. Tickets and more info for this showcase movie event can be found on the New Metro website. New Metro, it's your scene.
Oh, things looking good at the box office, but we're going to slam the brakes on right now and have a little bit of fun with Loki Rothman. We can't have a guitarist as talented as you are, my friend, without putting you to the test, making you quake in your boots.
Let's go for it.
And he was naturally a little bit nervous when we put out an open call to say any songs that you want this man to play, please give us some suggestions. We've had some crackers come through. And dude, I hate to say it, but some of the best guitar standards ever played have been suggested, okay? So I'm going to give the song and title and obviously the artist that performed it or band. And Loki, you're just going to rock out, dude.
Cool.
Are you up for the challenge, my friend?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Oh, buddy. We're going to start with an easy one. The Eagles, Hotel California.
Play the live version.
Yeah, do it, dude. We're live.
How does it start?
Oh, dude. You know when our Steadicam operator's going, yo, man. Okay, so we'll make this one even easier, dude. Eric Clapton, Tears in Heaven.
Oh, yeah.
Would you know I saw you in heaven? Would it feel the same if I saw you in heaven?
You make people cry this morning, dude. This is insane. All right, so let's make it a little bit more current, okay? We had to include an Ed Sheeran, Thinking Out Loud.
Yeah.
Come on, son. Come on, son.
The words. So it goes up.
When your legs don't work like they used to before.
Yes, come
on.
And I can't sweep you off of your feet. Will your mouth still remember the taste of my love? Will your eyes still smile from your cheeks?
You just keep playing. We're going to take a quick ad break. We'll see you on the other side.
Darling, I will be loving you until we're 70. Thanks, man. Yeah.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. Well, just before the break, we put Loki Rothman to the test with some guitar standards, and you guys made some amazing suggestions. Now we're going to let him do what he does best, play a little bit of his original music. Here he is with My Kamer.
Ek het al lank al immigreer na 'n kamer in my kop. Vandaar hou ek versigtig die wêreld om my dop. My kamer bied 'n skuilte as die storms buite woed. My kamer ken geheime, ja my kamer ken my goed. Beskud my teen 'n wêreld waar ek ongemaklik leef. Bevry my van bagasie en laat my rustig wees. Die wêreld is my woning nie, toe as jy sou verstaan. Ek reis al meer na binne, tot dit tyd word om te gaan. Tyd word om te gaan. My kamer het geen meubels, geen boek of skildery, geen spinnerak of rommel om my aandag af te lei. My kamer het groot vensters sonder lyke of gordyn, die uitsig onbelemmerd, net die son wat helder skyn. Die wêreld is my woning nie, toe as jy sou verstaan. Ek reis al meer na binne, tot dit tyd word om te gaan. Ons ken die komplot van die drama, elke eeuw word daar flink repeteer. Net die rolverdeling, die decor verander, maar waar is die groot regisseur? Waar is die groot regisseur? Die wêreld is my woning nie, toe as jy sou verstaan. Ek reis al meer na binne, tot dit tyd word om te gaan. Tyd word om te gaan. Tyd word om te gaan.
Thank you so
much. Thank you so much.
Jaws have dropped all over the country today. Thank you for indulging us with a little bit of a game.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you for the music that you're creating, dude. We are so proud of you, man.
Thanks, man.
You've just mastered your craft. Loki Rothman on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Let us know on our social media platforms what you thought. And of course, you can catch him in Lifter Baby Arena at Grand West on the 14th of July with a stellar lineup of artists, dude. Enjoy that platform.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Oh, it's going to be an absolute cracker if this was anything to go by. Dude, thank you so much for joining us. You are an inspiration. Let's get back into our news headlines.
In die nasionale nuus, die departement van Landbou het bevestig dat die H5N8 uitbreking, ook bekend as voëlgriep, na nog 2 gebiede versprei het, naamlik Germiston en Gauteng in Gauteng en Kinross in Mpumalanga. Die departement sê albei plase is onder kwarantyne geplaas en geen kuikens of kuikenprodukte mag na of van die plase geneem word nie. Dit bring die aantal plase in Suid-Afrika wat deur voëlgriep geraak word nou op 4 te staan. Die Suid-Afrikaanse Maatskaplike Sekuriteitsagentskap het bevestig dat hy die kontrakte van omstrede adviesgroepe wat 2 jaar gelede aangestel is om ondersoek in te stel na wie staatstoelaas moet betaal, gekanselleer het. Die agentskap sê daar is op aanbeveling van die tesourier opgetree wat bevind het dat die aanstelling van die sogenaamde adviesgroepe onregmatig was. SASSA segspersoon Paseka Lesatsi sê die adviseurs is amptelik deur die agentskap se uitvoerende hoof Thokozani Magwaza ingelig dat hulle dienste beëindig word. Op die internasionale front, die Europese Unie se toponderhandelaar meen daar bestaan nog groot verskille tussen die EU en die Verenigde Koninkryk oor die regte van EU-burgers wat in Brittanje woon. Michel Barnier het in 'n toespraak gesê die Europese Geregtigheidshof moet oor die regsbevoegdheid beskik om die regte van burgers te waarborg. Hy het daaraan toegevoeg dat dit noodsaaklik is dat Brittanje verantwoordelikheid vir sy finansiële verpligtinge aanvaar. Barnier meen indien Brittanje daarvan wegskram, dit geen basis vir die bespreking van ander aangeleenthede laat nie. En dan ten slotte, 1000 miljard ton ysberg het van die Wes-Antarktiese yswand weggeskeer, sê wetenskaplikes wat die gebied monitor. 'n Span verbonde aan die Universiteit van Swansea sê die stuk ys van 5800 vierkante kilometer, bekend as die Larsen-See ysrak, het tussen Maandag en gister afgebreek. Terwyl skere van tyd tot tyd voorkom, probeer kundiges nog bepaal of die proses deur aardverwarming beïnvloed of verhaas is. Wetenskaplikes sê die wegbreek van die ysberg, wat meer as 'n kwart van die grootte van Wallis is, verander die landskap van die skiereiland vir altyd. Well, that was your 8 o'clock news update. Here's a final look at what's happening in the world of sport.
We start this morning on a very positive note from a South African perspective. Of the Proteas women, they earned their 4th win of the World Cup, beating Sri Lanka by 8 wickets yesterday. South Africa easily chasing down the 102 runs required to seal the win and secure their place in the knockout round with one group stage match remaining. Elsewhere on the day, Australia beat India by 8 wickets, and New Zealand, they suffered a 75-run loss to hosts England. Then on to hockey. Match day 3 of the Women's Hockey World League semi-finals took place yesterday. Sadly, it saw South Africa fall to a 3-1 loss to Argentina. Although it was South Africa who opened the scoring in the 28th minute, the South Americans came back with 3 goals in the space of just 17 minutes to earn their 2nd win of the tournament. Some other results from yesterday's action saw wins for India, Ireland and Japan. Then back onto the tour. Marcel Kittel's dominance in this year's Tour de France continued yesterday as he powered to his 5th win of the Tour with victory in Stage 11. Kittel backed up his Stage 10 win on Tuesday with another flawless performance yesterday, finishing the 203-kilometre stage in 4 hours and 34 minutes. However, race leader Chris Froome maintained that 18-second advantage over Italian Aurelio Fabio to hold on to that yellow jersey. But for now, I think. And then the big guns are falling at Wimbledon. World number 1 Andy Murray was knocked out of Wimbledon yesterday as he suffered a shock 3-2 quarterfinal loss to American Sam Querrey. Murray, the defending champion, picked up a hip injury in the 3rd set, and that proved to be his downfall as Querrey fought back from being 2-1 behind. Some other results from the day saw wins for Roger Federer and Marin Cilic, while Novak Djokovic, he retired hurt during his game against Thomas Berdych. That's a wrap of your sport for this Thursday morning.
Well, let's take a final look at your traffic, starting off in Gauteng and Boysens. There's a stationary bus at the Crown interchange that's on the M1 northbound. Traffic's backed up from Ormonde. Then if you're in Sandton on the M1 highway, traffic is congested. That's between Grayston Drive and Pretoria Street. And in Cape Town and Athlone on the M5 northbound, traffic is backed up after Kromboom Road and the N2 interchange. That's where we leave your traffic for this morning.
Let's quickly take a last look at your weather here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show for your Thursday. And it looks like the northwestern parts of the country can expect nice and warm temperatures, whilst over in the Eastern Cape you can expect some rain throughout the course of the day. And then Cradock, Sutherland and Worcester all kick-start this morning in the negatives. Nice and cold start to the day indeed. Ons hartbeer vandag deur Polokwane begin op 6 grade minimum en 'n maksimum 25. Mbombela 12 en 'n warm 32. Pretoria 8:23. Johannesburg 7:22. Mahikeng 9:26. Klerksdorp op 10 grade minimum en 'n maksimum 26. Kimberley 5:21. Bloemfontein 'n ronde 0 en 21 later. Richards Bay 14:22. Pietermaritzburg 9:20. Durban starting off on 16 with a maximum 22. Mthatha 4:15. East London 8:17. Cradock -2 this morning, staying cool with a maximum of 16. Port Elizabeth 8:18. George 5:13. Sutherland very cold today, -4 this morning and a cold 11 degrees maximum. Cape Town 7:16. Worcester -1:15. Springbok 4:19 and Uppington on 8 degrees minimum and a maximum of 22 degrees. And that's a wrap of your weather here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show for your Thursday morning.
Book on Travel Start. We will turn your guilt trips into good trips.
Thank you so much, Mr. Stradom. Time for us to head to social media this morning. It is Throwback Thursday, and we are talking about Ashwell Prince, who was appointed as the first non-white South African Test cricket captain to lead the Protea team to Sri Lanka 11 years ago. And we want to know from you, who is your favorite South African cricketer? Let's start off with Mzukisi, who says it's got to be Makhaya Ntini and Sean Pollack. Also, Michelle Moses says, my favorite all-time players would be Gary Kirsten, Herschel Gibbs, Makhaya Ntini, those guys who played in that era, but now I would have to say Quinton de Kock, Dale Steyn and Kagiso Rabada. Letwin says Dale Steyn, the greatest bowler, and my current is Faf du Plessis, the greatest captain. And then I'm going to end off with Lebza, who says my favorite player with the man cricket is going far, believe me, Franklin Titus. So thank you so much for letting us know. Keep it coming. Who is your favorite cricketer?
Got to go with Kagiso Rabada, man. Can't believe he's not in that test. Well, we have been obviously reviewing one of the coolest films, I think, releasing this year. Julius Caesar played a pivotal role in the rise of the Roman Empire. And Caesar, leader of the apes, also wants to see his species prevail. After the apes suffer unimaginable losses, Caesar wrestles with his darker instincts and begins his own mythic quest to avenge his kind. We are giving you the opportunity to experience this very highly anticipated third chapter of the now critically acclaimed blockbuster franchise in New Metro's technologically advanced Extreme cinemas. And that includes Dolby Atmos and Auro 3D sound on some of South Africa's largest and most awesome cinema screens. You can catch it at Canal Walk in Cape Town, Ballito Junction in KZN, Clearwater in Johannesburg, The Glen as well in Joburg, and Menlyn Park in Pretoria. Now, the good news is you can stand a chance of winning tickets to see War for the Planet of the Apes in Extreme. All you have to do is SMS the keyword war plus your name and your city to 40675. And remember, please, you do need to add in which city you'll be able to watch the screening. That SMS is going to cost you just R1, and you can find all of the terms and conditions as usual on expressoshow.com. Will it be apes or humans who reign supreme, or will the battle between the two primates lead to their own demise? Find out in War for the Planet of the Apes.
Find the best entertainment at New Metro Cinemas. It's your scene.
Well, listen, on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we have director from the Women Awards, Top Women Awards, and it's all about inspiring young entrepreneurs. Carla Fletcher with us in studio. We'll be chatting to her after the break.
Yeah, and then we're also heading into the wild after the break. We're talking about climate change and how it affects us currently. That and a whole lot more after the break.
Who doesn't love more travels and more savings? Expresso viewers, explore the Middle East or Africa and get up to 30% off hotel accommodation and participating restaurants when you book to stay between the 21st of May and the 9th of September 2017. With more choices, you can enjoy adventure, relaxation, cities or beaches. To book, visit protea.marriott.com or call 0861 119 000.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And can you believe it? Time really is flying because we are having fun. And in just 2 weeks, we are in the month of August, which means it's time for all South Africans to celebrate our wonderful women and their achievements. Now, the Top Women Awards, which is set to take place next month, will honor women who have achieved remarkable success and acknowledge companies that have shattered their own glass ceilings by putting women in top leadership roles. Now, joining us in studio this morning is Carla Fletcher, Director of Top Women, to tell us about the inspiring awards. And Carla, good morning.
Good morning, Zoe.
I love awards like these because, I mean, like they say, it's breaking ceilings, it's shedding light on ladies that deserve, and, you know, they deserve the recognition and the honor. Tell me a little bit more about the Top Women Awards.
Well, that's exactly what it is. I think there's a lot of women who are doing amazing things. And although there's a lack of equality and a lack of women in leadership, I think there is a lot of good things that are happening. And if we start to look at those things, we can start to share those stories, and recognizing those women is really important so that we can create more. I think the other thing is that a lot of women don't put up their hands. And if they see like-minded women, they're able to see that, identify with themselves, and that they can do the same thing.
I really, really like that. And I know on the African continent alone, we have some strong, powerful female leaders and even, you know, women in business. How will the conference help other women?
So the conference is going to help other women by getting them to, like I just said, also find methodologies of successful women who've already achieved things. So you've got entrepreneurs like Margaret Hirsch and Jenna Clifford, who are wowing the South African market. And people just need to know the how sometimes, and just identify the methodology behind it. And these women will unpack that, what their success stories have been and how they did it, some of the obstacles they overcame.
I really like that. And you know what? A phrase that's got thrown around recently, and you hear it more and more often, is the digital disruption. Do you mind breaking that down for us a little, just to shed some light on what it is and how this will impact women in business?
So digital disruption is really changing business models. And it's giving women, I think specifically for women, it's giving them access to a market where they don't necessarily have to be at the office when they have kids and are trying to balance a life. I think it's taking away gender bias, because in a workplace, when you are technology driven, or when you can access business without being in the office, you are just as equal as male or any other race or gender. So it's you know, the likes of Ubers and Amazons and what's happening in retail and banking and Bitcoin. There is so much disruption happening in the world that women have just as much opportunity now as men did prior.
Yeah, sorry, I was just so caught into what you were saying. No, I really agree with you that women also now have the same opportunities. Now, at the conference, I know there's going to be some inspirational stories shared, some wonderful achievements being heard. How will we be able to translate that to young entrepreneurs that want to, you know, make a success for themselves?
So, I mean, again, the young entrepreneurs are going to learn a lot around the case studies, but also get to meet one another. And I think what happens is success breeds success, and networking is very important. So there will be a lot of people coming from incubation hubs, a lot of graduates, a lot of top business leaders, and a lot of people around policy. So that interaction alone is going to give them a lot of learning and inspiration in terms of how they can translate that into their own businesses and industry, because it will also look at industry-specific methodologies.
Oh, no, that's absolutely wonderful. And if people would like to get tickets to the conference, where can they get that from?
You just need to go to Top Women Awards or topwomen.co.za. And you'll be able to go online and inquire there.
Okay, well, Carla, thank you so much. We have the information for you on screen. And if you'd love to find out more about the Top Women Awards, do go and check out topwomen.co.za.
Well, it's that time of the morning, time for us to start our saving journey. Now, I know a lot of you have been with us on our hashtag My Savings Pledge Challenge, and we just thought that we wanted to share some of the pledges that you've sent through to us. So I'm going to kick it off, Ewan, with Stacey Mayer. She said, I stopped buying fancy lunch sandwiches and I actually make my lunch at home now. This saves me at least 200 Rand.
Well done,
Quite
Stacey.
amazing. Nice.
Love that, love that. We had another one coming through from Franklin Titters. He says, I'll save on weekend alcoholic beverages and smokes, which is about 250 Rand. These things do add up. And then he adds further, this is what I'm sure a few people can try and cut back on as well.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I think we
yeah.
can all cut back
That
on
weekend
that.
partying vibe, you know?
True story. Cut back a little bit. Now, this next one is really inspiring and really selfless, and I think a lot of us can take a leaf out of this book. Alison Stewart says, I have been saving all of my 5 Rand, my 2 Rand, and my 1 Rand coins and use them at the end of the month to purchase sanitary pads to distribute to teens and women living in settlement areas and on the streets in Cape Town.
I like that.
That is amazing.
I like that. Using your
That is
savings
amazing.
for good. I like it. We have one more, and I really wish I could be as strong as Garth Xavier. He says, he says, I will cut back on my coffee and donut and start to save that 15 Rand and 5 Rand as well. Yeah?
Very
now stick to
cool.
your word, Garth. Stick to your word, man. Yeah.
Well, what are you saving on?
Look, I pledge to save on one takeout meal a week.
Okay.
You know, and that's for the entire family. So that's around 200 Rand.
All right.
I figured, you know, if we go. So I'm going to put in $100 a day.
Okay.
Just because, you know, I'll put in another $100 tomorrow, you know, just so we have something to put in. But
Wow. Can
there
you
we go. Wait,
believe it?
I've got it.
$100.
$100, yeah. So today I'm going to put in $100.
There we go.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, when I do get back to gym, because I just came from holiday, so y'all know I need to go back. What I used to do after my gym workout is I used to buy a smoothie. So if that's 3 gym workouts a week, that's 40 Rand a smoothie. That is
That's a
4, 8,
lot.
12. That's 120 Rand a week
There we go.
times a month. That is a lot of money. So I'm going to put my $40. Sorry, guys, it's my loose change here. And I'm going to put it in my jar here. And it's going to be interesting to see how much money I'm saving
Well
at the
done.
end
I
of
almost
the
want to give you a
month.
round of applause for saving, man. Yeah.
Love, love, love. So remember, we want you to continue joining us on this savings challenge, sharing your pledges with the hashtag #MySavingsPledge. And at the end of the day, it's all about relooking our spending habits and knowing where we can cut back and ultimately save just a little more for the more important things in life. And it's never too late to start. So start now, start small. But the important thing is for you to start.
Now time to head back into the wild. But before we do that, let's bring you up to speed with some eco news and focus on a breakup. The biggest breakup that the world has seen in many a moon. It's not happening in Hollywood. In fact, it is an icy breakup that has taken 7 years to come to bear. It's a massive iceberg weighing trillions of tons, and it's just separated from Antarctica. Since 2010, researchers have been monitoring the huge rift that started to develop in the Larsen Sea ice shelf. The crack grew to well over 100 kilometers in length, finally snapping off, creating get this, 5,800 kilometer iceberg named A86. Doesn't sound that menacing. So just to give you a comparison, that's about the size of, or a little bit bigger than Lake Kariba. That is insane. And they're saying it's not as a result of global warming, but of course it's going to move into warmer waters and start to melt. I'm going to ask my guests a little bit later what they think about that. Then bringing it back home, it seems that the lions are loose again. If you live anywhere near the Kruger National Park, watch out. Earlier this week, 4 lions escaped from the park, and SANParks have been very hard at work trying to get them back home. It was reported, however, on Tuesday that the lions had been sighted south of the park in mountainous terrain, so that means they shouldn't hopefully pose a threat to humans. But seriously, what would you do if you found a lion in your backyard? Well, that's a perfect cue for us to head back into the wild. And it gives me an opportunity to welcome my 2 guests this morning, Lo Pinar and Andrew Partridge, here from the Department of Agriculture. And I'm going to get your thoughts on this, guys, because I think we have this misconception that the Western Cape is the only part of South Africa or Southern Africa that should be worried about our changing climate at the moment and the drought that we're currently in the grips of. But it seems that the African climate is changing, and it's been changing for a while. And obviously this has a massive knock-on effect when it comes to agriculture. We have to certainly connect with all of our farmers out there at the moment who have gone through probably some of the toughest years that they have faced. So maybe you can tell me if I'm on the money. Yeah, we're talking about a global average of 0.65 degrees in the past 50 years in terms of the temperature, increasing 1.5 times more than that was our average rate, which says to me that things are speeding up despite the fact that global superpowers are in denial about this. Guys, are we being fear-mongers? Maybe, Lo, I can start with you this morning. The Western Cape, the fires in Knysna, all of these things that seem to be a tipping point for us, are these an indication of our changing climate?
Well, I think it's, thanks for having us. I think it's an interesting question, and many people debate on the challenges, but when it comes to the agricultural sector, we know there's so many risks involved in farming. Farmer is exposed to, so many of these disasters, and we've seen even over the past 100 years, the frequency and the severity of these disasters have been increasing over time. It's a known fact. And so what we see today, these farmers, they're at the mercy of the climate, and we've seen now so many natural and even biologically induced disasters coming on. And so now farmers have to make their decisions and take this risk into account. And it's just been really a difficult time for many farmers because now they have a big time lag where they're actually investing lots of money, and now we have a drought which is really causing some big problems to farmers.
And they're not getting a return on that. How serious is the drought? What knock-on effect is this having to the country, Andrew?
So we're seeing, as Lo mentioned, these disasters are increasing not just in frequency but also in the severity.
Yeah.
And this obviously poses a serious threat. It can damage, wipe out your whole crop. It can destroy your livestock. And then we're also seeing, so as this serious risk is becoming greater and greater, as people choose their own livelihood options, if we don't have mechanisms in place where you can effectively deal with that risk, less people are going to choose to go into farming. So if it's not something that we deal with and we're able to effectively manage, then we're going to see less people going into farming and worryingly less youth going into farming, which could be have serious implications later on.
Yeah, and for such a long time, this has been one of the backbones of South Africa's economy, yes, but I think a badge of honor in the way that South African farmers have helped to grow and build this country. What are we doing? Are there enough measures in place? Obviously, you guys have had to focus on this.
Yes, so basically what myself and Andrew in the Department of Agriculture, we often get asked to do these economic impact assessments. And so then we go out to sort of understand what will be the impact of these disasters on our economy. So we often look at indicators such as employment, what will the impact on our exports, and then also look in general the GDP, what will happen to our economy. And so in this situation now with the drought, we've seen massive impacts of the drought. And of course, it's not only regional in the Western Cape, because many people ask and say, no, but it's only an issue in the Western Cape. But even now, we're coming off 2 seasons of very dry weather in the rest of the country. And that impacts us in all of us, even as consumers on the consumption side of the economy. We often then get much higher prices. I mean, it wasn't funny last year to have food inflation prices of up to 13% year on year. And then even stuff like maize meal last year was up 30%. So that obviously have a big knock-on effect on consumers in buying agricultural products. But then obviously also on the production side, farmers now have the situation, which parts of my orchards will I actually give water? Because now we've got 30% cut on all irrigation water, and that now puts the farm in a difficult situation to make decisions.
Oh man, well luckily they've got you guys to lean on, but we'd love to hear from you, especially if you belong to that farming community. 021 430 9881 is the number to dial. Please give us your perspective. We'll continue this discussion after the break.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us as we continue our exploration into the wild. And it looks like farmlands are pretty wild at the moment. We are joined by Lo Pienaar and Andrew Partridge from the Western Cape Agricultural Department, who are playing a very important role at the moment when we look at not just the drought conditions here in the Western Cape, but as you've explained to us, the conditions that farmers are dealing with throughout the country. Andrew, so much is being debated around climate change at the moment. We look at flash floods, we look at all these, you spoke about the severity of the effects, these things, the phenomenon that are happening, water shortages throughout the country. What has the knock-on effect been to the productivity in agriculture? Break it down for us and pull no punches.
So we're seeing, as we mentioned before the break, we spoke about the natural disasters, and that's obviously having a big effect. But even more than that, we're seeing climate in different areas is changing, in particular crops, which might be particularly suited to a certain area. Suddenly that area is not suitable anymore for growing that crop. So we're having to see a shift in the geography of production. And on top of that, we have agriculture is not just an income-generating activity. A lot of people in rural areas use it as a way to grow their own food for subsistence meat.
Yeah.
So now that's being put under threat by natural disasters and by the changing climate and having for them to move into different crops that they're not necessarily equipped to grow.
And I love the fact that it's, yes, on one side, it has kicked in a lot of long-term measures. Now, finally, we are being forced to look at the long-term, but we've got to also deal with the real-time struggles and new things coming in. What does this mean when we look at pests and pathogens, those sorts of things coming in? Surely, are they taking the gap now?
Yeah, and it's a serious, because pests will thrive in particular environments and climates. So as this is changing, we're having new pests coming up that are suddenly thriving. We've recently had a few incidences of the oriental fruit fly in the Western Cape, which is a very aggressive species. It can host in a number of different horticultural products. And so now there's this worry that whereas before we didn't have the environment where it thrived, now suddenly we do. And I think so these pests and the animal diseases, crop diseases, they can really threaten your production and threaten your crops and livestock. But they're also one of the big additional effects of that is we sometimes see that when we have an outbreak of a disease or pest, certain markets will block our exports to them. And we've seen in the past, we had citrus black spot in the country, we've had it with avian flu. And so we've had, when we start to have cases happening in the country, so key markets such as Europe will suddenly be like, okay, we don't want any of your exports. And that can have huge impacts for our productivity.
And often, even if we've got a handle on the situation, they don't care. The safety comes first. All of this says to me, GDP, 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 GDP. What does this mean for employment? Because we want now, if more than ever, inspire young people to get into farming, to find new solutions. What does this mean for our GDP and for employment within the agricultural sector?
Yeah, so oftentimes we get asked this question, by the minister and the public, what will be the impact on employment? And it's sometimes a difficult, thing to answer because we often don't have the data at that sector level. But we've sort of found, interesting techniques and research methodology to sort of get to those answers. And now, recently, we've now looked at the drought, what could be the possible impact, and obviously we now have to speculate on certain scenarios. But we now actually said in the drought situation, say for instance we have this situation of 30% water cuts on all irrigation farming, and then also the scenario where we have no water, farmers are forced to stop irrigating in the summer month. That could have a huge impact in employment. So what we see in the agriculture sector in the Western Cape, we've got about 240,000 people working in the agri sector, and then also another 250,000 that works in the agri-processing sectors. So that's already about 18 or 19% of all workers in the province. Now, if we have a situation we're actually forced not to be able to irrigate, it can actually cause up to 20,000 jobs to be lost in one specific production season. So it's obviously a big worry, and farmers now have to make those difficult decisions.
We need to get best practices in place right now. We'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions, 021 430 9881.
Understanding and monitoring your dog's behavior is a great way of making sure they remain in good health. Dr. Mats, a technical specialist from MSD Animal Health, the makers of Brevecto, is here to tell us more about how to recognize as well as treat pain in dogs. Dr. Mats, good morning.
Good morning.
You know what, when it comes to our furry animals, it's always difficult to say whether they're in pain or not. What are some of the common signs to look out for?
I think the first thing to look for is vocalization, especially upon touching. If the pain is around the head, then they become head shy or they move away from you. If it's a problem with the limbs, then you might see limping or lifting of the leg or favoring the one side of the body. Lack of appetite could be a common one. So even though you're not seeing any abnormality in the animal, its behavior otherwise changes. It doesn't drink, it doesn't eat, it doesn't do any of the basic things it does.
So when, as a pet owner, you notice these things, what is the first or the best thing to go about it?
I think because their natural instinct is to hide that pain away from you, I think the best advice I can give you is to actually go to the vet and source where that pain is coming from. And I think, you know, because they're equipped to look for that pain during the clinical examination, once they know where it's coming from, then appropriate treatment or aid or supplementation or medication will then help.
And let's say in the event you can't get to the vet immediately, are there some, I don't want to say home remedies, but some things you can do in that moment to just ease the pain for your dog?
I'm personally against home medication because I don't know what the pain is and I don't know how the animal would respond, especially if it's human medication. In that case, I'll just rest the animal, make sure that they move around as little as possible and conserve their energy until I can get them to the vet.
Okay, so it's best to get your pet to the vet. Oh, well, thank you for that, Dr. Matt. Knowing the signs of pain will help your dog towards healing quickly and living a more comfortable life. So tune in for our next Brevecto segment, where we will discuss the effect that ear mites can have in your dogs.
And so we help you take care of our beautiful pets. Absolutely love it. Now, if you're planning a walk with your dogs, why not join the Brevecto team at Golden Harvest in Johannesburg on Saturday, the 15th of July from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. Then again on Sunday, the 16th of July at Emerentia Park from 2 p.m. to 5:30 p.m.
That's right. Visit the Brevecto stand in the park to buy your Brevecto product online through ePet Store, the biggest online pet store in South Africa, and you'll get a 10% discount. Now, for more information, you can visit Brevecto South Africa's Facebook page.
For your extraordinary pet, you need extraordinary care. Give your dog 12 weeks protection against ticks and fleas in just one tasty treat with Brevecto.
So we've been talking about the current drought here, not only in the Western Cape, but the changing climate throughout Southern Africa and how it's been affecting the agricultural sector, certainly, but it has a knock-on effect for all of us as consumers. We all have a role to play, and we've discovered an incredible initiative. I'm talking about the Zero Heroes, who have found a way of combating the need to reduce water consumption to the point that they've reduced their consumption to zero during this period. Now, one of the people identified is Brian Brooks from Takai. So proud of what you guys have done. Welcome to the show, first of all. Thank you so much for joining us. You've been able to keep your water bill incredibly low. Is zero correct? Have you been able to maintain a zero water bill?
Yes, it's zero.
How do you do this? How have you been able to? We struggle so much, even in the tone of how to get people to take on board how dire the situation is.
Right.
You have found a way to address this. What have you instituted in your own home to achieve this?
Well, what we've got an abundance of water there, underground water, and through my borehole, I pump 3,000 litres an hour. So I thought, well, you've got to be able to use this. Spoke to some people, found out about tanks and about pumps and about filters, etc., and then put the thing together. So we extract the water via the borehole and store it in a tank. Now, there's a couple of things that you have to do before that, is you have to have your water analysed. There's a couple of things in there that's very important. For example, the pH, that has to be right. If there's iron in the water, it's a big problem. And obviously, there's a lot of bacteria in the water that you have to take care of. All that is living in the water as it stands. So the first thing you do after analysis come back, I had a look at it, and I found out that I had no iron in the water, which is very good.
Tick that box.
Because if it is, then the only way you get the iron out of the water is through reverse osmosis, and that's pretty costly. That's about 25 grand on its own just to sort that out. The next most important thing is the pH. Most rivers and groundwaters in South Africa is normally about 5.4. And that's pretty corrosive. So if you pump that into your house, that certainly will damage your copper pipes, your geysers, your kettles, etc. So what you've got to do is you've got to bring that pH up to the normal standard, which is about 7.2. So once the water has been extracted from the borehole into the tank, you've now got to treat that water. And there's many ways you can treat it. You can use some things like caustic soda, you can use potash, soda ash, any of those elements will change the pH. But the most common one that I found now is just to use ordinary bicarbonate of soda that you have in your kitchen. And that brings the pH up to where you want it. So that's side eliminated, right? So now you take that water, and it's now going to be pumped through various filters. Obviously, we go through a sediment filter, and what that does, that'll pick up any grains or dust or anything like that in the water.
Residue, yeah.
It then goes into a carbon block, which is basically a coal filter, and that'll extract out of the water any smells or bad tastes that'll be absorbed. They used to do it in the olden days by putting a block of coal in the fridge, and that used to take the smells out of the fridge. From then, the water's pretty clear now, besides the bacteria. And the only way you can take out the bacteria is through a UV light. So we'll take it out through the UV light, and voila, into your house.
Then you get this water.
You've got crystal clear water.
It's amazing to me how much you've learned going through this process as well, and it's clear that you've invested a lot of time and effort, and I'm assuming a fair bit of resource as well into that process. But you are not alone. We've got a caller on the line right now. Robin, a very good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for weighing in on the conversation. Robin, I hear that you have also been one of our zero heroes. How have you been able to achieve this?
Well, we just noticed, first of all, that toilets literally using 10 to 14 liters per flush, times 4 people in your house, times many times a day.
Yeah.
It's using a lot of water, this fresh, beautiful water that literally is going down the drain. So we disconnected our systems and we use grey water. So grey water from the shower, grey water from wherever else we're using water in the house to keep just that one thing going can reduce your water consumption by a huge amount. We keep our showers to 2 minutes or less. It's cowboy showers. Wet yourself, lather, switch the water off, and then switch it back on to rinse yourself off. So it's really worked.
How were you able to get your family's buy-in? Because, and you sound passionate about this as well. How have you been able to get that emotional investment from the rest of your family?
Well, I think you've got to be committed to it, and you've got to try, and you've got to just explain. Like, I mean, my children are 13, they're twins, they're old enough to understand what the impact is, and water is life. If we run out of it, we're going to be in deep doo-doo. So we need to keep this resource going, and if every family can make a commitment to try their best, everyone will be able to benefit in the end, and our water will last.
Oh, thank you so much, Robin, and well done. Hopefully you're spreading that message throughout your community as well. Brian, I really have to give you a pat on the back, sir. The lengths that you've gone to address the problem. We know that there is a massive issue when it comes to agriculture, yes, but within communities, getting that message out there, and the fact that you are sending this message out there and going to these lengths yourself, sir, deserves a massive pat on the back.
Thank
so congratulations. And I think that sends a message to all of us that there is more that we can do within our own homes to save every drop.
Thank you so much, Graham. Right now we're jumping into the kitchen and we are celebrating International French Fries Day. And we know that fish and chips is just one of those winning combinations. Now this morning we're hanging out with Guy Clark. He's back in the studio, executive chef at the Swallow Atlantic. And he's here to make a fish dish. But of course, when he's in the house, it's not just going to be a normal type of a fish recipe. It's going to be something quite unique, all right? So a trout ceviche, if I'm right. How's it, bro?
Well, and you?
Nice to see you, man. Excellent. Nice to see you. Welcome back.
Yeah.
So some trout ceviche. First of all, what is a ceviche?
A ceviche, it's a very Gandhi's recipe. It's beautiful. It stems from Latin America. I learned a lot about it when I was living in Miami.
Okay.
It's very simple. You cook fish in lemon juice. That is the principle of ceviche.
Fresh. That's all I can say.
That's it.
Simple. Okay, cool. So let's put it together, man, and we can talk throughout. So, where do we start?
Well, we've got some trout. You can use trout. I like trout because it's quite a fatty fish. But you can use any fish, whichever you want.
Excuse me. Yeah. Of course, can you try this out with a sassy green-listed fish as well?
Absolutely, any fish. If you're going to go for more of like your game fish, you want to start incorporating avocado and stuff into your dish.
Okay.
I don't do that because this has already got such a nice kind of fat texture to it.
Yeah.
So you pop your fish in. You can squeeze some lemon juice in there.
So basically, because of the acidity of
That's it.
the lemon, it kind of cooks the fish.
It's a very clean way to cook fish. It's a beautiful way to cook fish.
How long does it take? How long do you need to leave them in there?
It varies on fish to fish, but I reckon 5 minutes is good enough.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. We know, I mean, we eat sushi, so you don't
Exactly.
need to worry too much, yeah. That's amazing.
So you pop that in there. Some chopped red chili. This is all I add. You can add a lot of stuff. You can add coriander, you can add a lot of flavors, red onions, shallots, whatever you want.
But I like the fact that you're keeping it basic.
Well, that's
Which is
it.
great,
You
yeah.
know what? Like, you're kind of covering all the bases here. You've got like your acid, you've got your spice,
Yeah.
you've got your fatty fish, you've got your crunch, which is coming up. So that's all you really want to work with.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So that's it. We've got some prepared ones over here already.
Yep. So, and these little guys are
kale.
Kale.
There we go.
Superfood of the gods. So these have just been roasted in the oven. A little bit of olive oil, 100 degrees.
Okay.
Very simple. You add some sesame seeds to it. Gives a nice little pop and flavor. The sesames pair well with the fish.
All right.
And over here we've got some sweet potato. Again, roasted in the oven. A little bit of olive oil, a little bit of salt. We toss it with some honey. Now this is quite an important aspect because now you're bringing in the sweet aspect element.
It.
So you
But
really
I love
want
the
to
fact
balance
that you're
it
using
out.
all kind of natural
Yeah.
flavors, ingredients, yeah.
You know, you've got to do the product justice. There's no point covering up all the beautiful flavors.
Absolutely.
So you just toss it with a bit of honey. You can take your ceviche.
Oh, and look at that.
Oh, it's beautiful, man. I love this stuff.
Brilliant, man. Listen, the keyword is fish if you want to get your hands on the recipe for this morning's trout ceviche. Fish is the keyword. SMS that to 33728, and then you can make a dish just like Guy Clark over here, eh?
Yeah.
Man, looks amazing.
Yeah, really simple. Awesome flavors. So you want to base it off with your fish on the base. Your sweet potatoes, you can just incorporate into
nice.
it.
And especially with that honey as well. It would
Yeah,
be amazing.
that honey pops, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the kale is a bit of a side salad kind of crunch.
Exactly. So you got to have your crunch, very important.
Brilliant.
So we just pop that on there. And then I like to just finish it off with a little bit of some nice molten salt.
Okay.
Just to pop through. And then these gorgeous little guys, little violas or winter season. So they're really coming through everywhere.
Sure.
They do have a nice little taste to them, and they're also they're quite pretty. You know, they
Yeah.
add some color to a dish. I mean, you do eat with your eyes, right?
Absolutely. Once again, I love the fact that you're keeping it so natural and really bringing out the natural flavors of the ingredients, which
That's
is
it.
amazing. Awesome, Guy. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate that.
It's a
SMS
pleasure.
the keyword fish
Yeah.
to 33728. Get your hands on this trout ceviche recipe, man, and you'll feel like a pro after you put this one together. All the best, my friend.
Thank
All
you
the
so
best.
much.
Yeah, welcome back to South Africa. I know you've been
Yeah.
in the States for a while as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
There we go. Fish is the keyword. SMS that to 33728.
Adios.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, right here on SABC3. Now, mid-century furniture, has been a part of our interiors for over 2 decades, and this trend is now more relevant than ever. Now, Cynthia and her husband decided to take inspiration from this raging trend and create timeless, retro chic furniture. This morning, we are joined by Cynthia Strydom from Berber Furniture to find out why this trend will never fade out. Cynthia, good morning.
Thank you. Morning. Thank you for having me.
I love that the trend won't fade out, but please explain to me, what is a mid-century modern furniture all about?
It's all about simple lines. It's nothing too much. It's simple. It's clean. You actually emphasizes the beauty of the material that you're using, of the wood, the grains. It's all about simplicity and not uncluttering everything, keeping it fresh and clean.
I gotta tell you, I'm absolutely obsessed with it. I love the new take that you've given everything as well. But don't you want to just tell us, how did this all start for you?
It was when I moved to Cape Town. I'm actually Brazilian, and then I met my husband and we moved here. Yes. And then, of course, we got our first house here, and I needed to decorate. It was my first house, just married. And then my mom is an interior designer, actually, and I was looking for how I wanted to do things. And I always loved mid-century, and I knew that was me. And I had these ideas in my mind that I couldn't find the pieces that I wanted, so I decided to create them.
I love it. If you can't find it, make it.
Make it
yourself. So how would you say, what sets your furniture apart from the trend?
I think it's the fact that it's retro-inspired, it's mid-century inspired, but it's new, so you can actually customize the furniture. So you can, if you want a different color, okay, let's go, tell me what you like. If you need the table to be bigger, the couch to have more seats, less seats, we can do that for you. And I try to use colors that are a little bit more modern, that are not so much into that decade, just to make it a little bit more modern.
Very cool.
More fresh as well.
Yeah, I love that. Now, I have noticed that you use fiberglass in a lot of your
a little obsession.
Tell us why?
When we just started, I wanted to make the bullet planters, and I wanted to create with something that was very durable and very light.
Yeah.
And I was looking for the material, but I didn't want to use plastic.
Yeah.
So then I came with the idea of the first Eames chair, that is a classic for the mid-century, and the first one was made out of fiberglass. And I didn't knew that well fiberglass, but then we started to study and started to use it, and then became our favorite.
That's the chair we have over here, right?
Yes.
It's beautiful, and I love how you added the splash of color to the back.
Yes, because it's the texture of the fiberglass when it's not like treated, when it's glossy. So we decided to use that to actually create an arty.
Well, you have created art, and it's furniture, and it's beautiful. So when we come back, we're going to chat more about mid-century modern furniture and how to care for those investment pieces.
Well, as Cynthia also mentioned, it's all about DIY, doing it for yourself. We'll check out how we make this morning a beauty desk mirror. Pinewood is a modern DIYer's dream material for its industrial, hip vibe and no-frills attitude. It's no surprise that there are so many cool projects that utilize this material, like this morning's how-to beauty desk mirror with open shelves, perfect for your beauty products, your accessories and so much more. Today's project is a great way to add some practical storage space to your home entryway or your bedroom. Want to see how it turns out? Well, for today's how-to, you will need pine wood, a jigsaw, a drill, some screws, wood glue, an unframed mirror, no more nails glue, a bathroom hook and a ruler. First up, we're going to measure and mark 2 4x8 pieces of pine wood. Then we're going to use the jigsaw to cut out our pieces accurately. This pinewood beauty desk mirror is perfect in its form and function. With its shelving for small items that you'd want handy while getting dressed, is such a nice touch. Lay your pinewood down with the back facing up. Decide where you want your shelving to be. Once you're happy with the positioning of everything, trace the outline for where you want the pilot holes to be. Measure 2 inches from each side along the back side of each of the shelves and make a mark. Make sure it is centered. Drill a pilot hole at each of these marks. A solid piece of pine wood makes for a strong, sturdy back for this minimal beauty desk mirror, while giving you a little space for accessories, perfume, and a few of your favorite trinkets. With the drilling of our pilot holes done, we're going to line up the holes and screw in place. Lay your pine wood down with the shelves facing up in order to place the mirror on the left-hand side of the shelves. Secure it using No More Nails glue. Mirrors make a beautiful focal point and bounce light throughout the room. Make yours really stand out with this step-by-step how-to. This wonderful beauty desk mirror is easy to make from inexpensive pine wood and also looks interesting and attractive in a minimalist way. It also offers much needed storage space for small things in your entryway and your bedroom. Don't you think? To view more of our how-to videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have any suggestions, head on over to our Facebook page and drop me a message. Oh, well, we are back and we are talking decor, and it's nearly two decades later, mid-century modern remains the rage in furniture design. And if anything, it's even more popular. Buying a mid-century modern piece of furniture can be seen as an investment, and that's why we need to know how to take care of them. We are back in studio with Cynthia from Berber Furniture to tell us a little bit and to share a little bit more of her helpful tips on how to really take care of our furniture.
Absolutely. Now, we were talking about the materials that you were using before you took us through fiberglass. I know you also use wood, but don't you want to take us through how important the materials you use in your designs is?
I think they work together. You can't design anything if you're actually not thinking about the material. Sometimes I design something, think about the material that I want to use, like fiberglass, I have this thing and I want to use it. Or sometimes I design something, but I need to think about the material to be able to finish and structure my design. So they work together all the time.
Hand in hand.
Hand in hand indeed. Now, and you recently also launched a new side table range. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about that? I love that. And pop of color as well.
And it's one of those things that I wanted to use fiberglass and then I created a design. So I wanted to do something different from what we always did, because have always been quite leggy. Like they always have the skinny thin legs and tapered legs, and I wanted to do something a little bit different, but it's still keeping into the mid-century and materials for the mid-century, like the fiberglass. So and then I wanted to make something functional, because mid-century is very functional. So I wanted to do something that is a side table, but if you need extra seating in your house, it's easily a stool as well. You can sit on it, and it's light and it's durable. So, that's my cat.
I'm obsessed with cats, so that's very cute.
That's mine, sorry.
That's lovely. Well, Cynthia, you were saying that it is functional. Mid-century modern furniture is also timeless. But how does one take care of these pieces that are just so unique and exquisite?
I think basically keep it clean. So you always, for example, for your wood, you have to always dust. If you dust, don't just go with the cloth. You have to be damp, or you're just going to throw the dust in the air and it's going to fall straight back into your furniture. When you actually dust, go in the direction of the grains of the wood. That's always better. So you actually clean inside the grains. Furniture, usually for wood, you don't have to oil, because it does come with a seal, and if you oil, it's actually just going to stay on top and it's going to make it worse. And of course, keep out of sunlight, because it's always bad. And if you use coasters, if you're going to put a cup or something, because excess humidity and excess temperature can actually expand and damage your furniture. And if you have a couch, vacuum clean. If you have a cat, make sure you always take the hair out of the furniture and always flip around your cushions so they run out evenly.
Well, I love seeing all of these beautiful pieces. And before we say goodbye, I just want to know lastly from you, what's your favorite piece?
It's hard. Choose one, it's never easy.
Ones, like your kids.
I think the bullet planters, because it's when we started learning how to use fiberglass, and then when we actually mastered that and I saw one ready, it was love at first sight. And our single-seater as well, it was something that, it was the first piece that I've done, and when I saw it ready, it was mind-blowing. I loved it.
Wonderful. Well, Cynthia, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for showing us through your designs. They are, like we said, not only functional, but they're timeless and absolutely exquisite. And now we all know a little bit more about mid-century modern furniture.
Thank you.
I take big leaps. I make plans and backup plans. I just need my money to take me further.
Let your money take you further. Save or invest and get a great rate. Pay no monthly fees or commissions and get fully guaranteed capital. See money differently. Nedbank.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You tune into your Feel Good Breakfast Show right here on SABC3. Thank you for joining us so early on your Thursday morning. Right now, Vodacom is about to make your day with free data, so you can explore Facebook Monday, Lifestyle Tuesday, Gaming Wednesday, Instagram Thursday, Music Friday, Sports Saturday, and Video Sunday.
So this is how you qualify. First off, you've got to buy a Vodacom 100 meg data bundle or more, and obviously have a positive data balance. Then simply dial *111 *634 hash, or even easier, you can just download the latest My Vodacom app. Remember to opt in daily, and then don't miss out on up to 1 gig of free data every day from South Africa's best network. And for all those terms and conditions and more info, you can visit vodacom.co.za.
Well, of course, it's so sad we have to say goodbye, but I'm glad we get to do it again tomorrow. And coming up on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Friday Funnies, Angel Campy's in the house, and she's going to make sure we go into the weekend laughing.
Yes,
I love her.
She is. I love her too. And then, of course, we have Chris Chameleon. He's performing for us tomorrow on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We're going to take that Friday to a Friday.
Hello.
Hello.
Do you guys also know what's happening on the show tomorrow?
We're going to celebrate Bastille Day and find out about the Bastille Day Festival that's happening in Franschhoek, our own little Franschhoek.
Yeah, man, and on that note, we're making French toast. In the kitchen, we got to make some French toast, man. Come on, with some muesli on top. It's going to be amazing.
I've never heard those two things in the same sentence together. French toast.
Well, tomorrow you will.
Love it.
And we should get Chris Chameleon to eat the French toast.
Add some French fries.
Ahead of Bastille Day.
Oh, guys, what an amazing show it's been today. Hopefully we didn't terrify you too much chatting about the droughts and where we stand at the moment, but I can't believe the knock-on effect that it's having for the agricultural sector. So hopefully we've inspired you. Rather than steering away from that as a job, go out and find new solutions in that area. We need fresh minds, fresh perspective to tackle the drought and the changing conditions.
Exactly. Go out and watch Loki. Hey, Loki was
how talented
Loco.
is that man? My word. What an absolute pleasure having him join us this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Loki, man. What a legend. Yeah, thank you. Listen, but once again, thank you for joining us on the Thursday morning. We're going to do it all over again. Why? Because it's Fry.
And we love it.
Yay! There we go. The team has woken up. The team is alive. Okay. Cheers, guys.
Adios.
Expresso Morning Show, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.